They both lost their mind.
They did, because it was a tie game. It was 27-27, and both teams felt like they were going to try to... Max, are you just hitting yourself in the head with a football right now? You okay?
I have ADD.
Okay. He was seriously like slamming at full speed into his head.
ADD. On today's Pardon My Take, Week 11 in the NFL, we're going to talk about every game from Sunday. The Steelers win a big one against the Ravens. The Bills win a big one against the Chiefs. The Bears did the Bears thing. The Jets are officially dead. We got a lot to talk about. And then we're gonna do fastest 2 minutes to start. We also got Who's Back of the Week. And it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The Emirates NBA Cup is here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Will LA repeat? We'll find out soon. There's sure to be rim-rattling slams and no-look passes that bring the crowd to your feet. Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. We also will be releasing our NBA Cup picks on Tuesday on all of our socials. So if you are ready to place your first bet, try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, make your pick. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers, bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. When you bet just $5 only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by DraftKings. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Monday, November 18th, week 11.
What?
And let me be the first to wish a congratulations to the Toronto Argonauts in the Grey Cup.
And the
CFL.
In the Grey Cup. We start in Pittsburgh, where you can throw out the record books when these two teams play. Many people think you can't win a football game without getting in the end zone, but Boswell, actually you can, as Chris scored 6 times for the Steelers. LaMarvelous became unlamarkable on Sunday as the Steelers defense bottled him up, forcing fumbles on Likely and Henry. Likely Henry, that's what Tiffany Gomas said when asked who smashed a hole in her back wall. The Steelers put a stranglehold, choke me daddy, on the AFC North. Steelers 18, Ravens 16.
Punk. We go to Michigan. Get up. Everybody's going to score TDs. Get down. Jameson says, hold my ID. Gotta lose your coach in Detroit. Brock City. As the Lions punked the Jags. And even Brock Wright got in on the action with a touchdown. Doctor says I need a macchiotomy as Jones couldn't help the broken spine of the Jaguars. And I haven't seen anyone miss Lawrence since Darren Aronofsky. Doug Peterson is looking less like Quail Man and more like Fail Man, as it's only a matter of time before he's fired. Now that's funny. Lions, 56. The Jaguars. Lions, 52. The Jaguars, 6.
Down in Miami, where it's a John New World Order, as Smith scored twice and had over 100 yards receiving. Through a tough start to the season, Mike McDaniel told fans that if you don't love me now, you'll never love me again. I can still hear you saying you will never break a chain. As Devon laid the Fleetwood on the Raiders defense all afternoon long, As for the Raiders, their season has boiled down to whether or not Brock Tua can keep spitting on that thing, as their rookie tight end had another career day. Dolphins 34, Raiders 19.
A lot of Brocks this week, Boom.
A lot of Brocks.
A lot of Brocks. A lot of Brocks.
A lot of Brocks.
In Nashville, Sam Darnold Schwarzenegger said, "I'm back." Nick Westbrook and Kenny Rogers says, "You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to skull 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run 99 yards for a score." Brian Supercalifragilistic Titans are atrocious as Tennessee remains the chimney sweep of the AFC South, but a spoonful of draft picks helps the losing go down. The Vikings 23, the Titans 13.
In Chicago, where the Bears played the Packers and lost again because the Bears never beat the Packers and life is meaningless, and Mike Tyson was right that there's no such thing as legacy because we all die in the end. Also, Carl Brooks Burke got wild on the game-winning field goal, blocking it with his hand. Remember that show? I used to jerk off to it, but it doesn't matter because we're all going to die one day. Packers 20, Bears 19. We head to Foxborough with Henry Lockwood on the scene.
In New England, Drake Mayflower continued his stellar rookie campaign in the first quarter with a passing touchdown to Kendrick. Born to be wild. Methuen Stafford responded with a touchdown of his own to Cooper Kapow. Rams defense forced a fumble on a play that was actually a tuck rule, but whatever, and got the ball back in the red zone. Puki Nacua was looking absolutely fire in the end zone, so Stafford rewarded him with a touchdown of his own. The pass fought back valiantly in the fourth quarter, but not even a touchdown from offensive lineman Jeff V as in Vidarian Lowe was enough, and the Rams win 28-22.
Was that Lightning McQueen, Henry?
Kapow!
Ka-chow! All right, we had to stick it in the AFC East. Memes.
In MetLife Stadium, where Anthony Soprano Richardson finished off the big pussy, which is the Jets defense. No spoilers, Boom. Meta World Brees caused malice at the Meadowlands as he scored 2 touchdowns of his own. Drake and Josh Downs said to the Jets defenders, "Whoa, just take it easy, man," as he scored a touchdown. As far as Aaron Rodgers, it was time to quitty pay the piper with a sack and put an end to this game and the Jets season. Colts 28, Jets 27.
They shot him on the boat, Boom.
No spoilers.
Did a drink with him first.
We finish in Buffalo, where the Bills were flaunting their bodies, as Curtis Samuel showed a lot of legs, and Khalil Shakira said these hips don't lie, as he went whoop and whoop, and some spread. On the Chiefs defense, Xavier, we are not worthy, had Chiefs fans saying, "Game on, Garth," after a first half score. The game was back and forth, as Noah 50 Shades of Grey had Josh Allen feeling like he was back in bondage after a second touchdown. But the Bills finally got their release, shooting a massive buffaloed and a win.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Bills 30, the Chiefs 21.
Standing on the corner, Jameis Winston, Cuyahoga, such a fine sight to see. He's throwing seeds against his old team, revenge against New Orleans. The gumbo spoiled it, you gotta boil it. Rizzy clogged them like a pregame toilet. The Saints go marching 35-14. And that is the fastest 2 minutes from Week 11 in the NFL. And it is brought to you by our friends at Chevy. There's a reason we've never done a Mount Rushmore pickup trucks, and that's because, for pardon my take, there's only one pickup truck, the Chevy Silverado. Why is that? Silverado's a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using the Silverado for all kinds of pardon my take jobs, adventures, and other shenanigans. Silverado's been our ride for a cross-country trip to the Super Bowl. Silverado helped us dig the biggest hole ever in the state of Ohio last year at Grit Week. Silverado helped us give fullbacks the recognition they deserve with the Low Man Award. And this year, Silverado is out west with us for our latest Grit Week. Silverado brings the grit to legendary grit paired with modern truck tech inside and out. Massive screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views to help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold blacked out look of the new Silverado HD Trail Boss. So head on over to Chevy.com, build your own Silverado or Silverado HD, and check out all the current offers on Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability all behind the wheel of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. Okay, week 11 in the books. We have Sunday Night Football that we'll talk about at the end that is about to start. We're going to tape some of this early, but week 11 in the books. I feel like we're officially at the point where there are some teams that we can just stop paying attention to, and that became clear this week. Specifically the Jaguars.
Well, what stinks about the Jaguars is you can stop paying attention to them because they're relevant and the NFL makes perfect sense sometimes. However, we might have to start paying attention to the Jaguars again because they're probably going to have an interim coach.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the interim head coach, if he's fat or fun or passion.
You want to look at their coaching staff right now and predict who it should be?
It's not going to be their defensive coordinator.
No.
You know what?
Let Tony Khan do it.
Yeah, let Tony Khan get on the sideline. Let's wait till we get to the Jaguars Lions. Let's get into the games. We'll start with the most important game from Sunday, and it was Steelers 18, Ravens 16. Exactly how you expected a Steelers-Ravens game to go. We said this on Friday. All they do is play close games. All you got to do is take the underdog, and the Steelers win the game with 6 field goals, never getting into the end zone. Not the best game from Russell Wilson, but I think this was the game that was like, damn, the Steelers need to be taken very much for real because their defense just bottled up a very, very explosive Ravens offense, and they now have a 2-game lead in the AFC North, and they are in play for a 1 seed as well because the Chiefs lost. So the Steelers, like you had... I actually think if you went in this game and you said that Russell Wilson was going to play like that, I would say the Steelers had no chance because it was all kind of short underneath. He had that one really nice pass to George Pickens, but when he was pressured, he was sacked a bunch of times, threw one of the worst interceptions in the end zone, but the Steelers defense did it.
Yeah, the Steelers defense, they take away the long ball. They're like, we'll give you stuff underneath. And really, I feel like this game came down to a couple things. One was the Derrick Henry fumble on the very first drive. One of the first plays of the game. That added up with the missed field goals by Justin Tucker.
He might actually be bad.
Who now should either fake an injury and be like, yeah, I've been dealing with this since like week 2. I don't know, just say that you've had a hamstring problem that's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Or say that you've got like the measles. But there's something wrong with Justin Tucker. And we've been calling him washed, I think, ever since it might have been 2017 when he missed that extra point against the Saints.
Yeah, it's how this show goes. We're very rarely right. The only times we're right, it usually is because we joke about something and then enough time elapses that it becomes right. Because we were the first that Justin Tucker is washed as a joke, and now I think he legitimately might be washed. He's 30th in the NFL in terms of accuracy this year in kickers. He also lost. He's no longer the most accurate kicker of all time. So he's in a battle by percentage points. It's basically like tallying votes.
Is that coup?
I think California still has like 1 million votes still left to go. No, it's Eddie Pinheiro.
Oh, really?
Eddie Pinheiro is 89.38%, and Justin Tucker is 89.32%. If he goes 3 for 3 in his next 3, he will be back at number 1.
Yeah, so this is like, you can do this with any player, really. You can say that they stink, that they're over the hill, and eventually you will be correct. But the only person who's probably immune to that was Barry Sanders.
Well, and Tom Brady.
Because
Max Kellerman did it like every year, and then he looked like a fool every year.
That's true. Yeah, it's the was that show, Dexter? It was like the Dexter on Showtime principle. It's like you want to move on one season too early, not one season too late or something.
Right. But Justin Tucker's a legitimate problem. He missed back-to-back field goals. It was the difference in this game. The Steelers kicker, Chris Boswell, made all his field goals.
Yeah.
That was something that the Ravens always could just rely on. Like, hey, if we get past the 50-yard line, we're going to score points. Justin Tucker, if you're a Ravens fan, are you legitimately worried now going into the playoffs?
You have to be worried.
This could be an issue that rears its ugly head?
Yeah, the strength of your team, like the most dominant player, one of the most dominant players ever at their position, Justin Tucker. I would say, like, for a while, Justin Tucker was as good at kicking as Tom Brady was at playing quarterback.
Yeah, and it's automatic.
Hank's nodding his head back and forth. You disagree, Hank?
He was good for a few years.
No, I'd say probably like 7 years, 8 years. Justin Tucker, unquestionably the best kicker in the history of the game.
That's a stretch, but that's fine.
I think it's probably
Harder
accurate.
position to play, too.
That's accurate. I will give you that. We are an international podcast, so I will make sure to cede important points to you.
Yes.
But yeah, Justin Tucker, there is an actual issue with him. I don't know. If I was Harbaugh, I would probably just say that he was injured because you can't deactivate. You can't bring in competition to kick against Justin Tucker if he's healthy, right?
And, I mean, he still came in and after he missed those two, he hit a 50-yarder later on in the game. So he's still good. He's just not Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
The Ravens essentially just have an average kicker now where it's like, I hope it goes in if it's deep.
Yeah.
That's essentially it. And then the big story, though, is Lamar can't figure out the Steelers. He's now 1-4 in his career against the Steelers. He has as many wins against the Steelers as Russell Wilson has against the Ravens in this rivalry.
Yep.
And the one win is against Mason Rudolph.
It was Mason Rudolph and Duck.
Yeah.
It was
2019.
You got half of Mason Rudolph, and then you had Duck Hodges in the second half. Besides that, he hasn't gotten it done. Now, I looked this up. I went back to the start of the Harbaugh-Tomlin rivalry. Mm-hmm. So I think that's 2008.
Yeah.
Matchup between these two teams since 2008. The total points, Steelers are now winning by 10 points.
That makes sense.
Over the course of that entire time. That's an average of 0.3 points per game between the two of those guys.
Every single game.
Every time.
Is just it's within a touchdown. It's usually a weird score. This was a weird score.
Yeah.
If it's a 2.5 point spread, just take the 2.5 because it probably will be a 1 point game. And yeah, it was pretty shocking to see the Ravens defense be bottled. Actually, weirdly, both defenses I felt overperformed because I knew the Steelers defense was really good, but I thought, the Ravens offense is really, really good. Mm-hmm. So they would have more success. And then the Ravens secondary has been a problem all year, and the Steelers weren't able to gash them really.
Yeah.
So it's just both these teams, they get together and they just play old school football every time.
On both sides, it was like neither team wanted to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And so they were just taking what the defense was giving them. And the Steelers, the difference was the kicker in this game. A great kicker and a washed kicker.
And what's his name? The other Wilson for the Steelers. That interception he had was just man football.
Yeah,
when
just took it away.
He literally took it away, and that was a huge pivotal play. And yeah, I think both these teams are very good, but I like the Steelers. I think for the majority of this season, we've been playing this game in our head where the Steelers are good, but how good? Why aren't they in the category with everyone else when it comes to their defense?
They are. Their defense has always been good. This modern era of the Steelers, they've always had a dominant defense, but then they've had to go out there and win games on their own sometimes.
I would be concerned a little bit about Russell Wilson because he was great in the fourth quarter against the Commanders, but he wasn't great the first three quarters. And then this game, are we getting back to Russell Wilson just throwing checkdowns and being a little, when he's under pressure, he doesn't have the mobility that he once had.
I'm going to chalk it up to just going against the Ravens.
Okay.
Just the Ravens didn't want to give up anything big.
That interception, that Arthur Smith's face during that interception was perfect. Because everyone was like, what are you doing?
Russell Wilson had the largest target maybe in the NFL.
Yeah.
The largest pass catching target, and he just airmailed it by it really wasn't that high of a throw. I would like to see Washington try to jump up in the air.
Agreed. He should have played defense on it, but it was more time and place. It's a 15-10 game.
Yeah.
If you get a field goal, you're up 8, and you just, the one thing you can't do is throw an interception. And then we also had, unfortunately for Justin Fields, fortunately it didn't matter, but his one big play was actually a really smart, well-designed QB run by Arthur Smith to try to win the game late and get that first down, and he slid a full 1.5 yards short.
And then he gave the first down signal because he didn't know where the sticks were.
That was bad.
And then they zoomed in on his face for about 15 seconds on this. I feel like that's most of the camera time that Justin Fields gets is right after a boneheaded mistake where they just show him staring off into the distance like he's in Vietnam, and it just zooms in on him and he just looks upset. We also had, we get this every week, George Pickens temporarily goes insane during a game. I got two of them this week. So this is why we've said George Pickens is a must-watch player.
Yes.
There needs to be an all 22 of just George Pickens, an all one of just George Pickens every single play. The first one was early in the first quarter. He caught a pass. It was 1st and 10. Goes out of bounds after 2 yards and then makes the first down sign in the defensive back's face. There was that, and then at one point he caught a pass, and then he just started walking off the field. Like when Forrest Gump just ran through the end zone into the tunnel, he was just walking down the field to nowhere.
Yep.
And Tomlin had to pull him off the field and explain to him, hey, the game's still going on.
Yeah. He
It's
just
not
kept
halftime.
on walking.
It's not halftime yet, George.
Yeah.
But I love watching this guy.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of him.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
He's the absolute best. Okay, so yeah, the Ravens' chances to win the North went down to 37% with this loss. And the Steelers do have a tough schedule, but
Browns.
Yeah. The ultimate Tomlin trap game. Let's play Whose Line Is It Anyway if it's been released on DraftKings. The Browns are the bet on Thursday night because the Steelers are coming off. I mean, it's just Mike Tomlin is a dog all day, every day, and then they're going to go to Cleveland.
Whose line is it anyway?
4.
Sent by DraftKings.
I think
Steelers
4.
minus 3.5
It's at Cleveland.
at Cleveland.
It is Steelers minus 5.5.
Whoa!
Okay.
Browns.
Yeah, love it.
Browns.
Give me the Browns all day.
Browns.
There's no reason for it, but Jameis, primetime, Steelers looking ahead, feeling good about themselves.
Road favorite.
Yep.
Almost a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Muni-Lot's going to be drunk as fuck.
Yeah. That's Browns.
This is a Muni-Lot legacy game.
You like that, Hank? That's
I do.
Browns. That's
And the under.
Browns. And the under.
AFC North divisional games.
These two, these teams know how to play. Well, except for Ravens Bengals.
Yeah.
Literally like 150 points between the two of them, both games.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase by himself hit every over.
True. But end of the season.
End of the season, and not Ravens Bengals.
Well, no. Now we're in those games.
Those were early in the
Yeah.
season. Got
It
it.
was last week.
Yeah.
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 This is the end of the season.
This was week 1.
This is week 1 of the AFC North unders.
Yes.
I like that. That's smart.
Hank, as
1-0.
a man with championship,
1-0.
as a man with championship pedigree, can you tell me when good teams should say that they start paying attention to football?
I mean, you're always paying attention, but you're not really. It's the playoffs.
Like,
this is the
playoffs.
time.
Would you say December even?
Yeah, late November, December.
Okay.
Thanksgiving. Big Cat made a comment, and we'll probably get to it last week. That kind of stuck with me when it was like, it's not even Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and the season's over.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite for good teams. Where
Yeah,
it's like
good
Thanksgiving
teams
is
is when
when
the season
it's really
starts.
time to lock in and the season starts.
But they also did make Thanksgiving extra late this year. It's the latest it can possibly be. I
Was it on
believe.
Thursday this year?
It's on a Thursday this year,
should
but
be
it's
this week.
It's the latest it can possibly be. So, yeah, it
Right
kind of
about
fucks
now.
everything up.
yeah,
Yeah, it should. Yeah, it should have been. It should be like in 4 days. Instead, it's in 10 days.
I also have a real problem with the schedule makers because we've got 6 buys next week.
Yeah.
Then we have no buys.
Well, they have no buys because of Thanksgiving. You got to
'Cause
play
it's
on
late,
Thanksgiving.
'cause it's
Yeah.
late. And then after Thanksgiving, we go back to 6 buys again.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
I actually do like the 6 buys just because it's less games to like. I want to be able to. You get through all the buys and you get to the other side, and it's like you have buys because there's just a bunch of teams that are so bad you don't have to pay attention to them.
They should be able to do flex scheduling, but with buys.
They should be able to teams should be able to say we're done.
Opt out.
Yeah, we're done for the year. Like there are definitely teams where if they said, "Hey, we're done for the year. You're going to pay all the players. That's fine, but we're done for the year." It'd be fine. Be fine by me. Okay, next game. The reason the sickos and perverts are tuning in: Packers 20, Bears 19. I got fully baited. I got fully drawn back in. Thought the Bears were going to win this game. Really thought the Bears were going to win this game. Matt LaFleur goes to 11-0 against the Chicago Bears. We haven't beaten them since 2018. I got completely baited.
So I went back a little bit further than that. Big
Oh,
Cat.
it's like 52-14 or something.
I went to in the Favre, Rodgers, Love.
Yeah, since 92.
In the Favre, Rodgers, Love, Willis, Love era, the Packers are 51
Flynn.
and 15.
Flynn.
51 and 15.
You forgot
is
Matt
the
Flynn.
Is the actual record.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, I mean, we can't beat them. And this is a game we should have beaten them, and we played better than them, and it doesn't matter. Because we have a stupid fucking head coach. There was a guy who wanted me to apologize to Matt Eberflus halfway through this game.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Eberflus is now 14-30 as a head coach. He's 5-17 in one-score games. He's 5-17 in one-score games. And I want a little credit. Shane Waldron being the worst coach of all time, that actually turned out to be true.
Yeah, the offense looked pretty good today.
It looked significantly better. They basically were like, Caleb, get the ball out fast. We're going to try to run the ball. They called even amount of runs and passes. Caleb got the ball out of his hands in 2.3 seconds average. He was decisive. On 3rd and 4th downs, he was 10 for 12 for 112 yards passing and 40 yards. Yeah, 40 yards rushing. He got 10 first downs on those plays. Like, even the end of the game, 3rd and 19. Like, the Bears played well offensively all game. Then you get to the last 2 minutes. It's like, all right, he's got to go on a drive. And they reverted back to the Bears of the last 3 weeks. Sack. And then Caleb gets him out of it. He's now, in the last 4 weeks, he's gone on 2 game-winning drives that Matt Eberflus has fucked up.
Yeah, I think if you're a Bears fan, don't let the fact that you had a game-winning field goal distract you from the fact that Caleb should have been sacked on that play that he got out of.
Yes.
And converted a miracle first down.
It's just the fact that it's the Packers. That's the part that really kills, because it's I'm not stupid to think that this team is a playoff team. And in reality, I don't even like Matt Eberflus is such a bad head coach. I don't want to keep this going for much longer. But the Packers, like we can't beat the Packers. They have voodoo magic, or Matt LaFleur's 11-0. You have Caleb Williams get him to field goal range, and then all the quotes afterwards, just outcoached again. Rich Bisaccia, who we like, said in the team meetings on Saturday night, he said that he would be shocked. He wouldn't understand if they came out of the game today without a blocked field goal or extra point. And the Packers also said that in the last seconds of the game, several players, this is from Kaylin Kaler, she said, just talked to several players on the Packers field goal block unit, and all of them said they noticed that Cairo Santos kicked with a low trajectory when doing film study, and they expected the Bears to run another play, which in their opinion would have made it more difficult to block.
Well, yeah, if they'd run it, that's the question, is why did the Bears just agree to a 46-yard field goal?
Because we have a coach that's 5-17 in one-score games, and he also he's coaching like a guy who has like a 10-year contract.
Yeah.
He's coaching like he shouldn't push the buttons to be like, hey, you're a 4-5 team, now 4-6, that is spiraling out of control. You finally have a solid effort from offense. And, you know, the defense got gashed on some big plays. We can get to that. But you finally are in a spot to win a game. And not only do you not run an extra play when you have a timeout in your back pocket to try to get closer, but in the drive before that, it's 4th and 3 on the 50-yard line. Try to win the game right there. Like, try to win the game right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's 4 minutes left. Just go win the game.
Yeah, you're right about him coaching like he has job security. He needs to coach scared. He's not scared.
No, he coaches like extra scared though.
Yeah, but no, he needs to have not going for it on that 4th and 3.
Right. He's the opposite of Dan Campbell. He's the exact opposite of Dan Campbell. It's like he's
Nad Campbell.
It's so fucking frustrating. And at this point, so the part that really hurts is the Packers, because we can't beat the Packers, and we finally were going to beat the Packers, and then of course we get a field goal blocked. By the way, I thought you couldn't touch the center when he had his head down.
So I was going to give
snapper.
you some copium, because I've got the screenshots and I looked at them.
Oh yeah,
the people who are complaining about a no call on that, you're actually right. They bowled over the long snapper on that last.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain, because it's like the Bears are the Bears, and this is just. It was just bound to happen. I can't believe I fell for it. I can't believe I thought we were actually going to hit that field goal. But at this point in the season, like, if we had won this game 5-5, oh shit, we might be back in it. Like, I'd start thinking it. At this point, it's like, it makes it pretty cut and dry. Just salvage Caleb's rookie season, more days like today, and make sure that you lose enough games that Matt Eberflus is gone.
Yeah, so this might have been the perfect result then.
But it's still the Packers. That's the part that hurts. If it was anyone else, I would have been like, I could have. If it was the Vikings, if it was any other team, I could have twisted myself and been like, you know what, that was actually a good loss. The fact that it was the Packers, and Packers fans are going to go away being like, oh, we're so much better than the Bears. And yeah, I know they are, but like, Jordan Love is throwing an interception every fucking game.
I got a question for you, though. When it comes to the low kick trajectory thing,
yeah,
that's not really a coaching point. Cairo Santos has to kick with a low trajectory because he's got a very accurate leg. He's a good kicker.
Correct.
But he doesn't have the biggest leg in the world. Like, he has a 2009 leg where 56 yards and in, you can probably count on him to get it there, but he's not going to set any records. So to kick it that distance, you have to have lower trajectory than most other kickers do.
But that's why you go get more yards.
That's why you get more yards.
The whole. That was what the Packers were saying. They were surprised they didn't run another play.
Yeah.
That's the coaching part. That's the coaching part where he had a timeout, and the Packers are like, they're going to run another play because they know what we know, that he has a low trajectory, and but no. It's so frustrating because it's the Packers. That's the part that kills me because I fucking hate the Packers, and all they do is beat the fuck out of us time and time again. And it was going to be so big that like Caleb Williams beat the Packers, his first start against the Packers, and everything was going to be good for a week until we played the Vikings and then the Lions on Thanksgiving. But I was going to have 1 week where everything was good. And I thought about it, and I believed it, and I thought it was going to happen, and then it just didn't happen. And we're back to there. It's frustrating.
You would have had such a good night's sleep.
I had such a good night's sleep.
Post-win sleep is so good.
DJ Moore's back. Shane Waldron caused all his problems, too.
Yeah, DJ
He
Moore,
looks great. 4 receivers over 40 yards.
The great part about what they did with DJ Moore was they got him the ball early. So they're like, we're not going to let this guy have time to get upset at the quarterback.
Shane Waldron was the worst coach of all time. You can't tell me differently. And that is also on the head of Matt Eberflus. That's on the head of Ryan Poles. The fact that Shane Waldron was hired is just an abomination. The Bears looked so dead the last 3 games, and to have an offense that was actually functional this week just is such an indictment on Shane Waldron being the offensive coordinator for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, they look great. The offense looked really, really good this week.
They still didn't get – I wish we had scored a couple touchdowns. And then, of course, Jordan Love, he just – no matter what, like 2 or 3 times a game, he's just going to throw a deep bomb to Christian Watson, and it's going to work. And I knew it was going to work. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
I hate that.
It's like when Josh rolls out to the sidelines and he's going to his right, you know that he's about to do something crazy and unspeakable to a defense. That's what it's like when Jordan Love starts backpedaling.
Yeah.
Like, here it comes.
God damn it. Just fucking win that game.
Is it week 17?
I don't even know. I think it's week 18 that we
week
play
18?
him again.
So last game of the season.
And
Packers.
It's just the fact that like the two, now I'm going to play the game where it's like if Matt Eberflus plays sideline defense against the Commanders on the play before the Hail Mary, and if he runs another play or two in this game, the Bears could be sitting at 6-4 and I'd be thinking Yoffs.
In the hunt.
And I'd be thinking, holy shit, everything looks different. And it'd be like, oh, Caleb Williams has gone on 2 game-winning drives. And yeah, it's been bad at times. I've never said I was giving up on Caleb Williams. I still think that whoever they hire as the next coach will be very, very important. But this was a good day for him, and it was good to bounce back. He addressed the whole team and apologized to them for his part in getting Shane Waldron fired. He should have actually been like, "You guys should thank me."
Yeah,
because Shane Waldron never should have had a job.
I've got the schedule right here. You do have the Packers. Week 18, last game of the season.
I know the schedule.
You could play spoiler.
Yeah.
And that would be a great win if you go into Lambeau. And then the next day, if they don't fire Eberflus the day after that, then that would be literally your January 6th.
Yeah.
Storm
we would. We'd have to. We'd have no other choice. A little dust up, as Jack Del Rio said.
Mm-hmm.
Hank, do you have any questions that are going to put me in a bind and make me talk out of both sides of my mouth? You're really good at that.
What?
No, you usually ask a question, then I give an answer, and then the people are like, well, you said this, and now you're saying this, and I get, I'm an emotional wreck. And then the Badgers on Saturday night, that was devastating. Don't smile at me like that, Max.
I would just like to point out.
You went like this.
I would just like to point out that
agreeing with you. That was a tough loss. I was rooting for the Badgers.
On Friday's show, it was brought up that if the Bears look good against the Packers, you might be like, Bears are all the way back during the game. Did you think that the Bears were back?
I said Bears might. I think I tweeted exactly. Bears might be back. Situation remains fluid.
Okay.
They had to win the game. Caleb looks confident.
Today
again.
was a positive day for.
I
Bears
understand,
fans.
but it's the Packers.
But who cares?
If it was, I do.
What do you mean?
It was the Max. I agree with you. Everything you're saying is correct, but it's the Packers. We can't beat the Packers. Matt LaFleur's literally never lost to the Bears. It's insane. It's like the beating just won't stop. It just happens every year like clockwork. So if it was any other team, if this was a game against fucking the 49ers, I would have been like, you know what? Rookie quarterback, we're still working on things. Next year's the year. That was a great performance by Caleb Williams, but it's the Packers. and we had the game. We had it.
That field goal was never going in. It was never going in.
If he didn't block it, if they didn't assault the long snapper,
You don't even know that.
It might be a good thing it got blocked. There's worse ways to lose a game on a
He easily could have just missed it.
it was going in. It was going in. It was going in. You don't miss.
Caleb Williams looked really good. This is a good day for Bears fans. Has to be a good day for Bears fans.
We lost to the Packers.
That's crazy,
That's
Max.
not that you would if the roles were reversed
That's
and it was the
crazy.
Cowboys for you and you were going through the same thing. Also, Matt Eberflus, fuck you, dude. He said tough times don't last, tough people do. First of all, you're not going to last, buddy.
He has,
Second
though.
of all, tough times do last. What was the stat?
It was going
55
back to-
and 15?
It was going back to 1992, the start of Brett Favre, 51-15.
That's literally tough times lasting.
That's
Tough
a long
times
time.
literally do not stop. It's just tough times.
I just saw the replay of the attempted field goal. That was going to go in.
Yeah, it was.
That was going to go in.
We've beaten the Packers like 3 times in the last 10 years.
All right, so can I just confess that while watching the game, I wanted the Bears to win. I wanted that field goal to go in. I wanted Big Cat to be happy. However, during the setup, I thought, how fucking funny would this be if it double doinked? That would have been funny. There's worse ways to lose.
I mean, yeah, it would have been funny for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for the roller coaster, so I was really, really hoping that
That I was going to be all the way back in, yeah.
Also, that was the worst over game to have in the history of over games. You needed 2
Yeah.
points, and they stopped at the goal line twice, 2-point conversion missed twice, and the block field goal. It was the worst over game.
Yeah,
ever.
defense played well in that goal line stand. They just couldn't stop the long, passes. It was just Jordan Love would just rip a 60-yarder. All right, so Hank, you got any last questions that will twist me up and we'll end up being in the roller coaster reel at the end of the year?
No, I felt bad. I was looking at the game, looking at the record, and I was like, if the Bears win this game, the records are going to be 1 game apart. They could be better than the Packers. Not the last team in the NFC North.
Yeah, but I'll
Not
say
the
this, Max. You're wrong on the take that it was a good day for the Bears. It was not because we lost to the Packers. The one positive out of this is the rest of the season is as clear as it could possibly be. Just have Caleb Williams be good and not regress and not look like last 3 weeks Caleb Williams, look like this Sunday Caleb Williams, and get Matt Eberflus fired. That's it. That's it. Those are the only 2 objectives at the end at the rest of the season. That's it. There's nothing else that matters.
He looked good, though. Caleb
Winning and
looked good,
losing
which is a good thing.
Does not matter because we know Matt Eberflus, if given the chance to win, he will choose the loss every time.
Max is confusing seeing good signs with having a good day.
And it also is against the Packers. He's just completely he's pretending like he doesn't become a nervous wreck when he plays the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I get it. But the Bears are never doing anything this year, and Caleb Williams looked good, and you don't have to freak out.
They win that game, and
I'm looking. The schedule is
It's
the
a
gauntlet of all
ridiculous.
gauntlets.
Yeah, no, that's why the last 3 weeks I've been as emotional as I have been because the schedule was going to be a disaster.
All right, another positive.
win
The
on
offensive-
Thanksgiving.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be.
big.
We're gonna get fucking smoked on Thanksgiving. Holy
But imagine
shit!
if
Is
you
that gonna
don't.
suck?
Imagine if you don't.
That would be
Imagine if
fun.
you don't.
That would be fun. I'll agree with you guys. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Another positive thing, the offensive line looked good.
Yeah, because they actually ran the ball and they actually got the ball out fast. It turns out if you don't make Caleb Williams go through 5 progressions and also you tell Caleb Williams, hey, just fucking throw it underneath if a guy's open,
Yeah.
things can work.
Who is that?
You play to your strengths.
Who's your tackle that laid that block? Out in
Braxton
space?
Jones. He
That
was
dude
awesome.
is a road grader.
Yeah.
Where has that been? Offensive linemen have to be so pissed off at Shane Waldron too.
Because they're not being asked to block for a million seconds anymore.
Yeah.
Where the route trees don't make sense and no one's open. It was very clear that they were like, Caleb, throw the ball when a guy's open and just get the ball out of your hands. And when you do that, your offensive line can look good.
And also, if you don't see anybody open, just run.
The Packers fucking stink. They stink. Okay, they're not winning shit this year. They aren't. You guys agree?
Don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
They're not winning shit. Jordan Love just throws
You probably would have
picks.
said the same thing about
What?
like last year at this time.
They ain't winning shit. They stink.
Josh Jacobs is pretty good.
Jordan Love's not fully healthy.
He's fucking healthy. He's healthy. He throws. If he's throwing a pick, he's healthy. That's Jordan Love.
They have a kicker now.
He throws picks. That's what he does. Okay. Rams 28, Patriots 22. Henry,
Yeah.
Drake May look good.
Drake may look good. Bad interception at the end, last play of the game.
That might have been on the receiver too.
Yeah, it was a weird route. It looked like he was wide open. Miscommunication. Kind of what I thought might happen, where Stafford picked apart the defense. They kind of did whatever they wanted. Threw for 4 touchdowns. Drake May looked good. Exciting loss.
Exciting loss.
loss.
I love that. You're excited. Look at you.
It was a fun game to watch. And again, like going into this season, I wasn't expecting to go into the Sundays expecting to win. I'm not super disappointed that they lost, but Drake May looked good. It was a fun game to watch.
He had a bad fumble.
He did.
He was his hands moving forward. It was kind of like a tuck rule situation.
Small hands.
You basically watched my game, except you weren't playing a rival
Yeah.
who beats your brains in.
And we also weren't going into the season being like Drake May as the best talent
Okay,
you
all
could
right,
ever
all
have,
right.
and this is going to be a huge year, Yoffs, etc.
Right.
But yeah,
You didn't
similar.
even want to play him at all this year.
No, that was a mistake. I don't know.
Well, if we're just
We'll get to the Jaguars game,
if we're
but
just doing like takes from August, we could go take for take.
band for band.
Yeah, we could go band for band.
I
don't want to look in the past though.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah, Drake May, he was like under a lot of pressure and he looked good.
He had a couple blitz coming at him, guys running at him full speed, still throwing it, making completions, driving the ball down the field. Another 5 drops from receivers.
Yeah, every time I see Booty, he's dropping a ball.
Yeah, no, there's Pats need some help on the receiving side.
They do. Is that the draft or free agency?
Probably the draft.
I would be scared if I were you about the Patriots drafting receivers. I feel like it never works out.
But we never draft receivers. We're going to, in theory, have a chance at the best receiver.
Yeah, but you guys have tried to draft good receivers before,
Right.
And
Yeah.
they just end up not being good on your. You should.
But
draft
we don't draft. We've never had a chance at drafting the best receiver in the draft.
Are you saying the best receiver or the best cornerback?
maybe both?
Oh,
Yeah.
Travis Hunter? Oh, good point.
But or this guy from Arizona.
Yeah. But Travis Hunter would be the best of both. Yeah.
You get 2 players.
So the Rams, they needed this win bad, and they started slow again.
Yeah.
They are being outscored by 50 points in the first quarter this year, which leads the NFL. I still don't really know what to make of the NFC West, other than the only team I trust is the Arizona Cardinals.
Maybe trust the Cardinals. I don't know. I feel like the Rams.
Why not?
At their best, the Rams are better than the Cardinals, I think. But at their best, the Niners are better than the Cardinals. But neither team is ever at their best.
The Cardinals killed the Rams.
I know.
Obliterated.
I know, but I don't know. I don't think that I trust the Cardinals either.
I think I trust them more than the Rams at this point, and maybe the 49ers. I might just be all in on the Cardinals.
I think I just love Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. I mean, Cooper Kupp, that was
His beard,
there was no one around him.
No, that was the
Yeah.
easiest touchdown.
70
of all
yards.
time.
Yeah,
right down the dick.
and Matthew Stafford, whenever he even though they started slow, he'll just rip a couple passes in a game where you're like, holy fuck, no one else can make that pass.
Yeah.
the Puka Nacua touchdown was insane. We're gonna say
Is the Rams a pinky team or a Falcons pinky team?
the Rams are the pinky
Rams
team.
are the pinky team. You're
So
good.
yeah, I mean, I think the Cardinals are the best team in the West right now. I mean, right now, I don't know. I just like the Rams. I expected the Rams to win this game. They just started really slow again. And I was like, what's going on? And they also didn't really have that. They let the Patriots kind of hang around as well. Maybe the Patriots are just better than I think.
I think the Patriots are good. I think they've turned the corner.
Yeah, they're now in a frisky spoiler role.
The post mutiny Drake May era feels different.
Yeah, it does feel different. Mm-hmm. It feels real different.
Guys are excited. He's giving speeches.
Big speeches.
Everyone's fired up.
We'll see how his speech is this week.
Yeah, I mean that fumble was basically an instant touchdown. They lost by 6 points. A couple mistakes here, a couple mistakes there. They could have won that game.
I did look up his hand size because I was like, is this a cold weather November, December type fumble? I forgot he only has 9 1/8 inch hands.
Oh, no.
That's why the ball looks so heavy. Who told us that? Somebody said looks like he throws a heavy
We wanna
ball.
go band for
in their
band.
analysis.
Yeah. I was pissed that he drafted him.
But yeah,
I
Hank,
wasn't pissed.
Yeah, you were mad.
No, false.
I think you want to trade back and get Joe Alt.
I wanted Jaden Daniels, but
Yeah, that would have been a good pick.
Yeah, Hank, are you tanking or spoiling? This is a very important spot.
I'm exactly going to be in this spot every Sunday where I don't want to root for the Patriots to lose. I'm not going to say let's tank because who knows with the draft. I don't have experience in the draft game. It's not a sure thing. I will be rooting for the Patriots to win games as I was today. If they lose, I will instantly be like, that's good.
Yeah.
Good draft position.
Welcome to
So
our this side of the table.
I don't want to tank.
Yeah. This
I
has been
want
every
to spoil. I
every
want to spoil.
season. Yeah.
I would prefer to spoil.
It's between the white lines.
Yeah,
It's
if we
every
can't spoil,
week
we're tanking.
you're like, I don't care if we win this game. Then the game starts and you're like, I want to win this game. Then you lose and the game ends. You're like, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after if you happen to win a game on Sunday, you feel good about it for like 30 minutes, and then you're like, oh fuck.
Well, that was pointless. Yeah.
Then you go
Yeah.
to tankathon. Yeah.
It's post-win clarity.
Yeah. I'm basically back in that spot.
Yeah, let's spoil.
Let's start spoiling.
I mean, you got 2 opportunities to spoil something for the Bills.
Oh, that would be. Oh man, now I'm thinking about how I can get my revenge. What if the Bears and the Patriots end up with the same record, but because they beat us, we get a higher pick, and that guy becomes a Hall of Famer?
That'd be nice.
That's some serious cope.
That would be nice.
Learn how to cope, buddy.
Yeah.
Learn
I
cope.
got a lot more of that where it came from. Just twisting my brain around, trying to find wins where there's losses, because there's nothing but losses.
I don't see it as a competition. I want all our guys to do well.
No, you don't. That's a fucking lie.
It is.
That's such a lie. You want the Eagles to do well?
No, ours and our guys are quarterbacks.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't want the Eagles.
No,
You don't want
fuck
Jalen
the
Hurts to do well?
No.
You don't want the Jets to do well.
So by R, you
God,
mean
no.
God, no.
you mean this room?
You want the NFC brothers. Well,
Yeah,
no,
our-
not. Yeah, just
Our
this room.
guys.
Our guys.
Our guys.
Yeah.
Our 3
This
guys.
room.
You all took the wrong guy, but we'll get to that later.
What?
Oh,
Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's
Bo
true.
Lever?
I am a Bo Lever.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Bo Lever. Bo Nix he's incredible.
Hank, I do have a question for you. Did
Yes.
you find out who the keeper of the light
no,
was
I'm
today?
still. I'm.
How have you not been able to get this fact?
Well, there's something screwy
I
going
texted
on.
one person. They
Yeah,
didn't answer me.
because they haven't publicized this information. They did no press about it. It's not on the website. I think either they didn't have a keeper of the light or they're embarrassed about who the keeper of the light was.
I'm still on it. I'll get it by the end of the show, maybe.
It is funny when you go to the Gillette Stadium website and you could look through the pictures. There's
I did that
there's
too.
one of Hank. Took a screenshot of it.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, we need to find this, Hank.
I'm on it.
Okay. All right. Next game: Saints 35, Browns 14. Taysom Hill is back, and Darren Rizzi, he's got the Rizzi juice.
Yeah.
Guys, 2-0. First head coach, or only other head coach to go 2-0 for the Saints to start their career is Sean Payton. I still can't believe. I mean, there's a lot of Darren Rizzi left, but Darren Rizzi did interview for the job that Dennis Allen ended up getting. The 8-28 man, Dennis Allen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Rizzi juice, like he has celebrations and handshakes with all his players. The guy just hasn't pumped up.
Yeah, they play hard, and Taysom Hill had a stat line that has never been done before in the NFL today. It was just they built the entire team out of Taysom, and they say, okay, you go ahead and you do your weird thing where you just run people over, you catch passes, you return kicks, you throw interceptions. What do you have, 3 touchdowns?
He had 7 rushes, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns, 8 catches for 50 yards, and he threw an interception. He did the Jimmy V, like you got to laugh, you got to cry, you got to do something for someone or whatever. Yeah, you got to do it all, and that will be a full day. Taysom Hill was everything in this game, and the Browns defense was, I don't know what happened, but they were the arm tackle kings today. They just tried to just swipe at Taysom Hill, who's an absolute load, and they look so bad. And Jameis didn't even play bad. Like they didn't win, and they could have scored more points, but like he didn't have any terrible Jameis interceptions. He's so much fun to watch because every snap for Jameis is either a deep ball or it's like a fire alarm drill inside the pocket.
Yeah.
Where he's just like running around and doing the high knees and everything.
His touchdown pass that he had early in the game to the back corner of the end zone was an awesome throw. Then he had another to, I think it was Jerry Jeudy, where Jerry Jeudy did most of the work. But it's cool to see the Browns functioning as like, a reasonable offense in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that they're a good offense right now, but they do look qualified to be playing football on Sundays.
He threw 395 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it's just the Browns defense was atrocious today.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill, I don't know what, it almost looked like they were, it looked like at points Like Taysom Hill, you know when we always see those, we'll see like a random clip from like a Pop Warner game where there's one 8-year-old who's somehow 6'2", like 220, and everyone's just bouncing off him. That's what the Browns look like against Taysom Hill.
Yeah, you have to bring at least 3 guys to bring him down.
Yeah.
And when he gets ahead of steam, he might even just run through 3 guys.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I would like to see Taysom Hill get an entire season starting at quarterback.
Remember that one game when Troy Aikman was just like, he's way better than Drew Brees?
Yeah.
He kind of was at that point
Yeah.
in Drew Brees' career.
They called him a poor man's Lamar Jackson at one point, too.
Yeah. He's
Very poor.
Yeah, I mean his throwing's not great, but he can run the rock.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the Pope tweets about this game. Have you been following that?
Yeah, he's been doing the hashtag Saints.
Hashtag Saints.
Yeah.
All the time.
Also, the Browns, Dustin Hopkins is terrible.
Yeah, so are kickers shittier than they've ever been in the NFL?
It seems like it. They've gone that way. Also,
Week 1 through 7, we were like, the kickers are too good. Now kickers just suck.
yeah, Darren Rizzi also might just have great field goal defense because it happened last week with Young Hoku.
Yep.
Something about Rizzi magic. He's got him missing everything. But Dustin Hopkins missed 2 field goals, but really 3 because there was a penalty, and he missed like a 27-yarder.
Yeah, chip shot.
Terrible. What are you going to say?
Make the goalpost wider.
I got the Keepers of the Light.
Oh, you do?
It was families of the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors for a salute to service.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
Salute to service.
Salute to
Shout out to
service.
them.
Maybe
Yeah.
put out a tweet with them. Maybe publicize it a little bit.
Yeah. Is Darren Rizzi going to get this head coaching job?
I don't think so.
What if he fucks around and does?
I mean, that'd be great. But I almost would prefer to have a black magic guy like Darren Rizzi in your back pocket as an interim head coach in case you need him.
But here's the question. So the Saints are in cap hell. The Saints roster is a mess. What guy, I know everyone, like, there's only 32 jobs, so there will always be someone who wants the job, but it's not going to be the top job that people are looking for. Could it just be Darren Rizzi?
If you're looking for a guy to manage your way through cap hell and to win some games that you probably shouldn't win, but also cap out at like 6 wins a season,
Get the boys to fight hard for you?
then he would be your guy.
Right. You could do worse. You could do Dennis Allen.
Yeah, bring him back.
Dennis Allen. They literally were like, you've coached before. You were 8-28.
Do you
Yeah,
think-
let's do it.
Do you think Dennis Allen is still rooting for the Saints?
No. I don't think I don't even think Dennis Allen's watching football. He probably watches football like my 5-year-old watches football. He's just watching and being like, what does that mean? What is a first down?
He might hate football too because he
Yeah.
associates it with so many bad memories of losing games.
Yeah. He's like, oh, that's a game I would lose.
Did
he can, you know how like they're like representation matters. You need to see yourself on the screen in movies and stuff. Dennis Allen, every game, no matter what the game, he just sees himself as a losing head coach.
Yeah,
Even when it's the Saints, he's like, oh man,
I feel bad for that guy.
I feel bad for Kevin Stefanski right now.
Yeah,
that would be me right now.
that sucks.
It's like, no, Dennis, you were coaching the Saints, the team that won that game. He's like, yeah, but it still would have been me.
I gotta know if the Rizinator clogged a toilet before the game.
Yeah.
He should just say that he did.
Yeah, what does it matter? Although then
Dude,
someone would investigate and be like, he actually didn't, and that would be a big to-do.
That would be a to-do, yeah.
Yeah.
But he does look like a man that could clog a toilet with his piss.
Yeah. Did you see his celebration with one of the guys?
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's great.
I thought the interim juice, I was wrong about this game. I thought the Browns were going to win this game because I thought it was just going to, be gone after a game. But I think Rizzi might have enough juice to have it, like they might finish. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins a few more games down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm going to root for the Saints fans because they're one of the coolest fan bases in the NFL.
And they also have to deal with Brian Kelly right now.
Yeah, so ultimately I think where I'm at is where Hank is at with the Patriots. Monday through Friday, I want the Saints to lose, and then on Sunday when I'm watching them, I want them to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
For their own goodness.
That feels good. Okay. You want to do a couple ads and then we'll get to another game that the sickos and perverts want to hear about. Memes. Let's do a couple ads and we'll get to that one.
Before we get to the rest of the games, they're brought to you by Game Time. Henry,
Yes.
can you bring up the Monday night game in Dallas?
Sure can.
I want to see what those tickets are going for right now because with Game Time, you can get into all the games for the best deals, best prices. They've got the Game Time picks feature that you can select, and you can find the best deals going right now for any sporting event that you want tickets to. It's football season, and if you're looking to get out to some games this fall, use Game Time. They are the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time, and with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it easier than ever to get to a game. They filter out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Hank, do you have those tickets?
There are tickets you can get in the building for under $100. I'm seeing 58. I'm seeing 60. And I'm looking at a super deal right now that's 215 row 14 for 190. So
Go for it. And it's a night game, so
Yeah.
the sun won't be in your eyes. Download the Game Time app today. Use code PMT. Easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game time. These games are also brought to you by our great friends over at Uber Eats, where you can order almost anything. Download Uber Eats today. It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, enjoy buy one, get one free famous bowls from KFC, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? They've got you covered. Game day deals on pizza, burgers, tacos, and more all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and taxes and fees apply. See the app for details.
Okay. Colts 28, Jets 27. Shout out to Anthony Richardson. He played well today. The Jets made him look good. He maybe the time on the bench helped. I also feel like Shane Steichen did a lot better of job of like playing to his strengths, a lot more designed runs.
Yep.
He threw the ball well. Still a couple inaccurate passes, but doesn't matter. He like 2 big drives in the fourth quarter, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
this was a good day for Anthony Richardson.
I have a radical suggestion for the Colts.
Yeah.
You know how we talk about going 2 QB system?
Yeah.
Why not just have Joe Flacco be your quarterback until you get to the red zone? And then put Anthony Richardson in.
But Anthony Richardson was throwing deep balls too today.
He does air it out.
He was 9 for 12, 185 yards on passes 10 plus yards.
Yeah, he looked good against the vaunted Jets defense.
Listen, I'm not gonna take anything away from Anthony Richardson. He's had a tough go of it this year, especially with the last few weeks coming out of the game then getting benched. I thought that was a win for. I mean, it was a win for the Colts, but it was a win for Anthony Richardson, and they're still in the playoff hunt with Anthony Richardson.
No, I didn't mean that as a slight against Anthony. I meant that as a slight towards the Jets defense.
Yes, no, the Jets defense is atrocious. I have a stat for you.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson era for the New York Jets, winning percentage 3.64.
Aaron Rodgers is way better than that.
Sam Darnold winning percentage for the Jets 3.42. Aaron Rodgers winning percentage with the Jets 2.73.
They all had seasons, multiple seasons.
But if Aaron Rodgers has multiple seasons at 2.73, it might actually get worse.
Or it could get better if they just never lose next year.
Oh,
That's
I
a
don't
good
think he's gonna
point.
be on the team next year.
Yeah, so next year, is he going to be on the team next year?
I don't think so. I saw a couple of reports that even if he wants to play,
they're gonna say no.
yeah.
Where did you see those reports?
I believe it was Connor Hughes.
Okay. Sounds like a Rossini.
No, he works for SMY.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's interesting.
I did read her article, and she said that they might not
pay
want her
for it?
back. But
Yeah.
notice you didn't credit her when she delivers good news.
Is that good news?
Pay for that.
Is that good or bad news?
What?
If they don't want him back.
I don't know. The future is not bright.
What so
What did
Did
Rodgers
you-
say when they asked him?
I said I think so, yeah.
That's a good answer. He wants to come back.
Did you cheer like the crowd cheered when the Jets got their first down in the under the 2 minute warning in the first half?
I was fired up.
Okay. What about when Aaron Rodgers, instead of throwing an interception because he wants to make sure his stats feel okay, took a sack to end the game?
Yeah, no, that entire sequence was horrible. The pass, the lateral behind the line of scrimmage that went 20 yards backwards, didn't know what that was. Then he threw it to the middle of the field. It was just, it's just pain.
I do feel bad for you, Memes.
No, thanks.
I do.
I do too, but not really because it's Aaron Rodgers. If it was any other quarterback, I'd be like, although maybe I feel bad for you because I really wish this had happened with him on the Packers. Like, this isn't really doing anything for me. It's just hurting you.
I have a question for you, Memes. If you had a time machine and we sent Memes back in time, like a year and a half, as you're courting Aaron Rodgers, what do you tell the Jets front office? Are you like screaming? Are you waving your hands, being like, "Please don't sign this guy," or do you say, "Yeah, let's try it and hope he doesn't tear his Achilles this time"?
Are you killing baby Hitler?
I think so.
Okay.
So
I
from
think
the,
so, yeah.
Okay.
so I think you could say like definitively, Aaron Rodgers, he probably regrets going to the Jets and picking the Jets as his team.
Yeah, but everything comes
But-
back to his Achilles.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if the Jets feel the same way, like we really fucked up by bringing Aaron.
No, everything comes back to drafting Zach Wilson.
Oh, so it goes further.
Yeah, it goes further back.
All right. So
But that entire draft was terrible, so whatever quarterback you pick is just would have sucked.
the Achilles though, that was. If the Achilles doesn't happen, do you think that all this plays out differently?
Yes, because you have that entire year to evaluate the Jets and how it went. Then you could evaluate how Robert Saleh did with Aaron Rodgers. You could evaluate how Aaron Rodgers did that entire season. You could be like,
Yeah.
all right, he's washed.
I agree with you.
You could have drafted a quarterback this year because there was fucking 7 of them.
I agree with you. And also, I mean, Robert Salah obviously was a big scapegoat. The Jets defense is so bad since he's left. I know it wasn't great when he was still there, but like,
Yeah, no,
They
the
can't
season
tackle.
ended as soon as they fired him. The season was over.
yeah.
Devontae Adams didn't fix anything. Hassan Reddick, I don't even know if he's still on the fucking team.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah, he is, but he just doesn't do anything.
Oh, man.
What about Ahmed Gardner?
He's having a bad year. He'll bounce back next year.
Ooh.
golf?
Golf. Anders Carlson might have found a kicker for the next 10 years.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Memes ripped Aaron Rodgers' head off.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you do?
What do you do?
We have a
And the
fat
fat
head.
head.
Wait.
Oh, like literally ripped his head off.
Is it in there?
Yeah.
Yep. Let me change the camera so that people can see it.
Oh, my
Yeah, let me see it.
God. You ripped his head off?
Yeah, I had to cut it off.
Why'd you do that?
Oh,
I mean, you took
memes.
off the top 5% of his body.
Did you watch the game here?
No, in my apartment.
And you were just how was that going?
Sad.
Shit.
Sad.
I saw you tweet? Did the Bears and the Jets lose at the exact
The
same time?
exact
No,
same
man.
time.
We're the same.
Field goal got blocked. Aaron Rodgers got sacked.
Oh man.
So right now at 3-8, you guys would be picking 7th.
Yeah.
You can
Okay,
lose a few
but
more
hold
games.
on,
So many
hold on,
losers
hold
in this
on,
room
hold
today.
on,
There
hold
are so
on,
many losers.
hold on.
You
No
got-
memes. Memes. Shut up, Max. Max is the only one who won in week 11. He's loving it. Loving it. Memes. Hold on. Just hold on a second. Seahawks at home,
Loss.
at Dolphins,
Loss.
at Jaguars,
Win.
Rams, Bills. You guys
Loss,
could run
loss,
the table.
Loss.
9-8.
Loss.
Do you think that will they ever stop making the Jets favorites?
No.
They were 4-point favorites in
Are
this
they going to
game.
be favored against the Seahawks?
I don't know whose line is it anyway. DraftKings.
They're
No way.
They're the worst team that has been favored.
They can't
in so
be
many
favored
games.
in this game. They can't be. It's got to be Seahawks like -2, -3.
Do they have a bye?
Yes.
Oh, it's a bye. Shit. All right.
Probably lost a bye.
Yeah. They can't be favored against Seahawks.
They'll be favored against the bye memes.
You got to be excited for the bye. You need a week off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do
for
need
your
a
health.
week off. You need a week off bad.
What about this,
Yeah.
memes? You come back from the bye, and you want to win more games,
There's
right?
nothing to look forward to.
No,
Aaron
there
Rodgers
isn't.
might be
Oh,
appointed
no.
ambassador to Costa Rica.
Ooh,
How about that?
that's sick.
well, I just made that up, Hank.
Oh,
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah.
So memes. Is it hurt that this guy is sitting right here?
No,
And-
the Patriots also suck.
Yeah, but they have a
Don't shake your hand. The Patriots fucking suck.
I mean,
wait. They have
but
this
the direction
future-
of the
same
future
record.
is so
Doesn't-
much
It
brighter.
doesn't matter.
Wait.
Josh Allen is still in the division.
Okay,
We
but
suck.
it does matter.
same record.
Doesn't matter.
Same record, and they beat you.
We also beat them.
Okay, but same record, and they have a rookie quarterback.
we've also beaten the Bills before. We'll beat them again.
Hank, answer me this: Are you in
People
win
forget
now?
that Monday Night Football game. I don't.
Would you say that the Patriots have been in win now mode for the last 2 seasons?
No, the opposite. In fact,
Build now.
Yeah, memes. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're wrong if you think that the situations are the same right now.
No, it doesn't matter. Josh Allen.
But like Drake May could be
No.
a mini Josh Allen.
Based on the AFC East cycle, Josh Allen will run it for 20 years, and then next team will get their guy.
So how much more time do we have for Josh
I
Allen?
think 13 years.
13 more years.
You've crunched the numbers?
Yeah.
So wait, then who's up after that?
I take the Jets.
You think it's Jets'
Dolphins
turn?
had Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Patriots
Okay.
Get Tom Brady.
Okay. So this. Okay.
So
So, you
start
get 13 years.
13 years.
Start tanking now for 2037.
Yeah. That's not bad.
2037 is our year.
That's a little hope.
There's no hope.
Maybe a Manning brothers in that draft.
Yeah,
Be like
maybe
a-
Archie will have a son.
Yeah. Be like a man and grandson. Yeah. There's no hope.
There's no hope.
So definitively though, you want him back or not?
Depends who the coach is.
What's funny is
Mike McCarthy?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's funny is that they have like Aaron's answer to the question of if he's coming back next year is probably the exact same answer that the Jets front office would give right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess.
Yeah, if we can't get someone better.
Yeah.
Which it's crazy, but there's a lot of people better. He's just old now. It sucks to watch.
Yeah, you
well,
need,
it's not.
you
It
need
doesn't
a,
suck to watch.
a
I was trying to be
perfect
nice.
offensive line.
Yeah.
But apparently still wants to play next year. But a lot of people are saying it just won't be with the Jets.
It would be really funny if he ended up on the Vikings
Yeah.
somehow. We really need that to happen. And then goes to like an NFC Championship game.
That would rock.
Okay. Next up, Dolphins 34, Raiders 19. The Dolphins, don't look now, but the Dolphins, they're kind of in it a little bit.
You don't know what?
What did you say? What were you going to say?
I don't know.
What were you going to say?
Suck. I'm just down.
What did you just
Yeah, what did
say?
you actually
What
say,
did you
man?
say, though?
I don't know where we go.
I think that was an internal monologue. That
Yeah, what just
leaked-
happened
that
there?
leaked out loud.
I'm down.
You are down.
I'm down.
This game did not matter.
Yeah, but creating a winning culture does.
Memes
Okay.
gets himself up every single
Means
week.
You have an interim coach. You can't create a winning culture right
Anthony Richardson's. You can't. There's only so much you can do. when you
Here's
go
the good
against a
news,
quarterback like
memes.
that.
Here's the good news.
You fucking
That was it.
That was it.
There's no more. Like, that was it.
That was it.
Because I know that you were saying to yourself they won that game and then they keep winning like they could do it, but that was it.
Yeah, no, it's dead. It's as dead as possible.
That was it.
It's been dead. The team has sucked. The team has sucked.
I don't.
And then
I don't tell you how to be a fan.
But
you
this
don't
is
tell me
how. But
to be a
every
fan.
Sunday you're like, this team sucks. I can't keep rooting for this team. They're so bad. They're not going to make the playoffs. And then every Thursday comes around. It's like, we got a shot.
That's sports.
We got a shot.
That is
is
sports.
sports.
That is
You said-
sports.
No, that's not true.
No, I mean,
Big
that's
Cat's
right.
known that he's been fucked for weeks now.
Yeah.
No, but Memes
true.
is right,
I have.
though.
Keep coming back though.
It's sports.
It
Means
is sports.
If you win your next game, you have to rehead the Aaron Rodgers fat head.
And you have to say you might run the table
okay.
if you win your
We're
next
not going
game.
to win.
Right, but
Thursday's going to come around and he's going to think that they're going to win.
We have a 3% chance. We can't run the table.
Oh, what, are making the playoffs?
what
You're
is
still
the-
alive.
Hit it real quick. What happens if they beat the Seahawks? What's their chance then? It's got to go up to at least like 5%.
Max isn't.
He's not the
I mean,
playoff
there's
machine.
they don't give you that option.
It is funny that it took until this
What are
week.
you trying to put that on me?
I was
He said hit the button. Then
What button?
I declared the Bears fucked when they were 4-4. It took you all the way to 3-8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Memes, let me ask you this. If I had a gun and I told you there's a 3% chance that it's loaded, would you want me to pull the trigger on you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that's only because the Jets lost.
All right, Dolphins 34, Raiders 19. Tua was awesome. Kind of makes sense that Antonio Pierce said that he should retire after his last concussion. He probably saw the schedule. It's like, oh, we could get maybe an easy win on Skylar Thompson. The Dolphins could be frisky. So the Dolphins are frisky. Let me say that. The Dolphins are frisky. The Dolphins could somehow make the playoffs.
So, yeah, with a win, I think they're playing the Patriots next, right? I think they would be, well, they definitely would be back at 500 with a win there.
No, they would be 5-6.
They'd be 5-6
5
at
and
that point.
6. And then they
Well,
play
they're
the
still-
Packers on Thanksgiving week, Thanksgiving night, I believe.
They have a commanding second place lead in the AFC East right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about them.
Yeah, there's something. Tua has looked good. Tua has looked good since he's come back, and it felt like today was like they put it all together. Jonnu Smith went off. It was just, I don't know. The Dolphins, watch out. The Dolphins are going to play spoiler or maybe fuck around and find a way into this playoff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely spoiler. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but they do have insane skill positions, and Tua's getting the ball to him. He's finding him in space, and the offense Achane looked really good today.
Yeah. What's the Dolphins' chance getting in the playoffs? 12%. That's 4 times as much as the Jets.
It could happen. And as for the Raiders, the only thing I'm tracking now with the Raiders is Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
After every loss, Shedeur Sanders tweets, "Thank you, God."
Oh.
Now, I don't know if this is intentional or not on his part, because I saw the meme going around earlier this week, so I kept my eyeball on it. And after this game, I noticed that he did immediately tweet, "Thank you, God." So I went back and I looked at every single week that the Raiders have played this season.
Okay.
And he has done it after every Raiders loss, except he didn't do it at all weeks 1 and week 2. So this boils down to the fact that Shedeur has been posting every Sunday except for September 29th since week 3.
Okay.
So it has tracked so far, but the thing is the Raiders just haven't won very many games.
Yeah.
So the only weeks that he's missed doing it have been during Raiders wins.
Got it. So he tweeted every time for a loss?
No, because he didn't tweet week 1.
Has he tweeted every time? Has he ever tweeted it with a win?
No, he has not. Since
Okay.
he started tweeting "Thank you, God" on Sundays, it has only been after Raiders losses.
Okay.
And he did skip the week where they won a game.
Where they beat the Browns.
So that's what I'm tracking right now.
Got it. He started in week 3.
Yep.
He missed week 4. He's tweeted every other week.
Yes.
Got it.
Which coincides very neatly with the Raiders' schedule.
I mean, I think he would be awesome on the Raiders.
He would be, and I feel like Tom Brady would love to have a guy like that on the Raiders.
And Dion is head coach of the Raiders.
Yeah.
Scott Turner definitely he's not given the best situation, but he's made the Raiders offense looked better today than they've looked in the last few weeks. Brock Bowers was incredible. They still can't run the ball, but I don't think that's Scott's. I think that's just they can't run the ball.
I think what he did this week was probably pretty smart, which is just get Brock Bowers at tight end, get him the ball there, get Brock Bowers the ball at receiver, get Brock Bowers the ball out of the backfield as running back. So we're just going to get this guy the ball as much as we can.
Yeah. So Scott Turner, watch, he did better with what he's had than what Luke Getsy, who also stinks.
Also, Brock might be a Blake.
Oh, really?
They called him Blake Bowers during the broadcast today.
Ooh.
And I think Kyle Rudolph said that he wanted Brock Bowers to be big country, right?
Yeah.
Because he's from
Napa,
Napa Valley, which is as country as it gets.
The most country. I have my eye on the Dolphins. That's all I'm going to say. I've got them circled because since Tua's been back, they beat a Rams team, which like people can say whatever they want. The Rams still have some very good players, and they're still in the playoff picture. They lost by 3 to the Bills, and then they took care of business against the Raiders. I have my eye on them. I think we'll see on the Thursday night, Thanksgiving night, when they have to go to Lambeau. It's going to be cold. That will be it. If they win that game, and they're back to 500, if they beat the Patriots next week, they might be the 7th seed.
And
I don't know.
And we're not going to call them frauds.
If they win it in Lambeau, and it's got to be under 40 degrees.
I feel like on a holiday that I don't think it has to be that cold.
No, if it's like 60 degrees.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's balmy, if we're talking
Yeah.
a nice humid Thanksgiving, I'm going to adjust that up to if it's under 60 degrees at all.
I need at least the announcer to say welcome to the frozen tundra. And then the Dolphins won't win at the frozen tundra. Okay. Vikings 23, Titans 13. Sam Darnold, pumpkin watch is on hold. He's back to being a good quarterback, not pumpkin watch anymore. The Titans, this game was not super exciting other than Will Levis had an awesome 98-yard touchdown pass.
That was sick.
And the Titans are just like the number one team that just beats themselves because we've talked about their special teams really bad. They also had 13 penalties for 91 yards today, and they gave the Vikings 7 first downs with penalties. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the name of the game. And the Vikings keep just rolling along. 8-2, right? No.
They're 8-2.
8-2.
And this was the Sam Darnold audition for the Tennessee Titans.
Yes.
Who have become the Indianapolis Colts, where they just sign old quarterbacks.
Yes.
I guess Sam Darnold's not old, but he does fit that bill.
Yeah.
Of a guy that's got a lot of frequent
been passed
flyer.
around.
He's purchased townhomes in several cities.
Yes.
So Sam went off he had 246, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This was like a big titty bumping game. Every time I looked up at the screen, somebody was in between the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
And it felt like they didn't really move all that much.
Yeah, because the big touchdown was that 98-yarder, and then I think Jordan Addison had a big touchdown as well. So, yeah, it was. It just wasn't a lot happening, and the Vikings are better than the Titans. We all thought that, and then it was proved. It was a good win for the Vikings, just the fact that the Jaguars win was unimpressive.
Yeah, I don't know what you want from the Titans for the rest of the season. I don't know what their fans want.
I don't either. This is one of those teams where it's like just bye week for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch this.
No.
I don't think anyone wants to watch
Titans,
this.
I think they should be on the extra TV.
Yeah.
They should go to side TV.
Although we made a good choice today because
Great
that was,
choice.
and we could talk about that game. I should say Justin Jefferson officially becomes the most reception yards in a player's first 5 years, and we still have, 8 games left? 7 games left?
Yeah.
So he has 6,811 yards in his first 5 seasons. That is a record. He is just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Also,
It's pretty crazy that the Vikings have 1 and 3 in that list because Randy Moss was 3.
Yeah. I can't keep a beat on Aaron Jones and how injured he ever is.
Yeah.
Because he looked like he had some explosiveness, and I think he got carted off the field last week.
Yeah. He always has like a groin leg.
A groin leg.
Yeah. And you don't really know what's going to happen. And he wasn't very explosive today.
Yeah.
So, okay. Talk about explosive. Last game, the early slate. Lions 52, Jaguars 6. Holy fuck. Someone in this room said this is the NFL makes no sense game of the year.
Said very confidently, too.
On the Jaguars spread and money line. Let me just read that again. 52-6. The Lions had 645 yards of offense.
Jags were winning this game at one point.
They were. They were
That
up
is
3-0. What were you thinking when they were up 3-0?
It was on the side TV, so I couldn't even really pay attention. It was 3-0. I was like, yes.
Listen, if
did it again.
Wait a minute. What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Because it was on the side TV,
It was
couldn't
on-
pay attention?
Yes, Max. It was on the side TV. So when you're looking forward at all these TVs, you forget about looking to the side. By the time I remembered to look to the side, it was 21-3. Maybe 5 minutes later.
he's not talking about a side TV on the main wall. He's talking about the TV that's across the room.
Yeah.
The other
It
one.
was the 8th TV. We put it on the 8th TV because we knew this was going to happen.
I thought it was just like one of the other TVs.
No.
Yes.
We said it on Friday that this was a game where the Lions will come out, they will kill the Jaguars, and the Jaguars will quit because Doug Peterson is going to get fired because they have the bye week next week. There was a report this morning that Doug Peterson will probably get fired. I would assume by the time you're listening to this, Doug Peterson's been fired. This was like Alabama versus Kent State. Like I think Tennessee played Kent State this year and it was like 71-0. This was an early September little school going to an SEC school game, which isn't supposed to happen in the NFL. Jared Goff had 412 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's the only quarterback ever to have multiple games with a perfect passer rating that had 400-plus yards. 7 touchdowns. 5 guys scored. I mean, this was insane.
Yeah, Hank, how much of you saying that the NFL doesn't make any sense in picking the Jaguars was because Mac Jones was starting?
0.
If anything, it should have been reversed.
Yeah, it was a bad pick. I'm very dumb. I don't know ball. I tried to call my shot, and I was wrong, and that will be the last time I do that.
If you had known that before the game, there would be a report that if the Jaguars don't show up, if they get blown out, then their head coach will be fired, would that have made you more inclined or less inclined to bet on them?
More inclined, because if there was ever a world where they were going to win, it was going to be because they were fighting for their coach. Clearly,
they did the opposite.
Right. But
they're like, oh wait, he's going to be fired if we get blown out. Bet.
Right. But if in hindsight, if situations were reversed, they actually wanted to play for him, like a Disney movie or something.
Yeah,
they beat the Lions.
Yeah, when they did.
Let's win this one for Doug.
They did when they were up 3-0.
Yeah.
Some other crazy stats. Amon-Ra had 11 targets. He had 11 catches, 161 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This one's nuts. So These teams actually played 2 years ago, and if you don't remember, it's because it went almost exactly the same. In the last 8 quarters the Jaguars and Lions have played, the Lions are up 92-20, and they have not punted.
That's nuts.
92-20.
You want to hear something else that's crazy? This is just a little bit over a year ago. This is August 2023. There was a poll. I think The Athletic put it out. Who would you rather be, the Lions or the Jaguars?
Yes.
66% of people said the Jaguars.
Wow. This was so. It sounds crazy. It is crazy, but it's basically less than a year ago. The Jaguars were 8-3 heading into that Monday Night Football game against the Bengals. Since then, they have lost 14 of their last 17 games. Think about that. 8-3. Mm-hmm. That was the Pete Prisco year. The schedule. They're going to the Super Bowl. They were 8-3, and since then, the absolute bottom has fallen out.
Yeah, it's been bad. It's been real bad.
Real bad.
And when you think it can't get any worse in Jacksonville, it does find a way. It was the worst loss in organization history.
Yeah, it's not supposed to look like this in the NFL. Like, it's just not supposed to look like this.
Jameson Williams did the hold my dick to him.
He did the hold my dick. Every time we looked up, there was another long touchdown.
Yeah.
All right.
I also think in this game, we can talk about their skill position players because they are awesome on the Lions.
And Sam Laporta didn't even play.
Sam Laporta did not play. You got brocked. Everybody at the skill position is awesome on the Lions. But their offensive line was just gaping people.
Mauling.
Like, it's a tired thing to say, like, I could have rushed for X amount of yards in this game. I think I probably would have had 12 yards. I would have had 12 yards rushing today if I played on the line.
That's what I'm saying. When it looked like, not just in score, but in just watching the game, it looked like an SEC team versus a MAC team.
Yeah.
Because it was like the difference in, I should say, Toledo did beat Mississippi State this year, so it doesn't always go like that.
Mississippi State?
Yeah, Mississippi State. They beat Mississippi at Mississippi State. But it was like men and boys playing in this game. And the only bad news for the Lions is Alex Anzalone broke his arm, so he is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. But other than that, the Lions are just incredible.
Yeah, well, they'll probably have a bye, so back for the playoffs maybe?
Yeah, and the Lions, by the way, for the first time in franchise history, are officially Super Bowl favorites.
Wow. Good for them.
They are officially Super Bowl favorites.
Love that. Max, have you reached the point where you're now rooting against the Lions?
Yeah, for sure.
Have to be.
Yeah.
Plus 350 the Lions are to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are plus 450. It's crazy. Lions are Super Bowl favorites. So I don't know. I mean, like, that's nuts.
Their schedule's not easy, though.
No. Well, they're
Chicago,
better
Their
than
big
everyone.
games are at home, though, which sucks.
Yeah.
And they're also better than everyone.
They are.
So their schedule is kind of easy.
So they got the Colts.
Better than
Chicago, who Chicago is capable of almost beating anyone.
If we brought back Justin Fields for just the Lions game, because he actually was the Lions killer, and that doesn't mean he beat them a bunch. It means that he was just good against them, and Matt Eberflus happened a bunch.
Then Packers, Bills.
Better than
Bills.
Bills is a tough game.
Good game. 49ers.
Better than.
That's the only one on the road, though.
They're better than the 49ers. What are we talking about?
But that happens all.
I understand. But
better than all.
I think
time.
they're significantly better than the 49ers right now.
So they got 2 outdoor games, which is that's the knock against Jared Goff. Although Jared Goff played well outdoors.
And the 49ers game will be fine weather, most likely. The Bears might.
But that's also the second last game of the season. Like, the Niners team could look different then than they do now. I hate the Niners. I hate that I'm even like justifying this, but
they would have beat you guys.
You're thinking
in the playoffs.
I know what
he's
thinking.
What?
I know what he's thinking.
When Brock Purdy got hurt.
What, 1 seed?
No, you're thinking maybe you get 2 seed, and what if the Niners got the 7 seed?
Oh, I would hate that.
Yeah, that would be
That'd be
bad.
bad
I know. I mean, because the NFC, the 7. There's so many teams I don't want to see from the 7 seed.
Yeah, the NFC is going to be a tough battle for that. 6-7 seed.
Give me your acceptable list of teams that you would like to see at the 7 seed.
Oh, I like this.
Who would you like to host?
I don't like this because then it puts
bulletin board material.
For the end of the year.
Yeah, but you got to still.
You got to say it.
Just get him.
Get names. Yeah, get his ass.
Seahawks. I would love.
Okay,
fair.
We play the Rams next week. I'll answer that question after we play the Rams.
Okay. 49ers, you wouldn't. Bucks,
I would
Bucks
not,
own you.
I do not want to see the 49ers. I would not want to see the Bucks.
Bears.
Might be getting healthy.
Bears would suck just because that I would have to be in a room. I would have to do it with you.
Well, what do you mean? You'd kill us.
But it would still
Rizzy?
suck.
Saints?
Saints would be great.
Cowboys?
would be great.
Panthers?
Panthers would be great.
Giants?
would be great.
Okay. All right. So,
What about Commanders? You didn't say them.
yeah, you didn't say that. They're current 7 seed.
If the season ended
Vikings,
today,
I would love. I would love the Vikings. We beat the fuck out of the Vikings every time.
Bulletin board.
Yeah, that's bulletin board that I don't care about saying because the Vikings fans know it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I really want it to be the Vikings. Vikings are the Seahawks, based on what Max just said. That's what I would love.
So I mean the Lions, they're just so good. The Lions are so good. I don't know
I would
what
really
else
just
to
like
say.
the 1 seed. The 1 seed would be phenomenal.
They're just, and this was part of why I bet on them today. Is like they're so good, and they also are in a way where like Dan Campbell like doesn't have them in like he somehow has them.
He's got them scared every week.
He's got the juice.
It's like you better go out there and play fucking hard.
Yeah, or I'm gonna fucking beat you up.
I will kick your ass.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he didn't do any of that in the first half of the first quarter though.
Yeah,
Remember that,
true.
Hank?
True. 3-0.
3-0. If the
59-yard field goal.
If the quarter was only 10 minutes long, I think the Jaguars would have won the first quarter.
Yeah. Oh, also, we should say the Jaguars punter was great today. He had 5 punts, 53.5 yard average, and 3 that he put inside the 20.
It's good.
That's really good day.
That's something that you can build around.
Yeah. Build the whole team around the Jags punter.
All right, so let's take a look at the Jaguars coaching roster right now. Figure out who the interim head coach is going to be.
Yes, please.
Press Taylor, offensive coordinator.
Friend of the show. Yeah. I don't think he would get the off. I don't think he would get the. He's not a perfect meatball interim head coach.
Okay. Then the other options we have Mike McCoy. That's a football guy. That's a name that's been around football for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I could see him. Chad Hall. Way too much of a Chad.
Also, a friend of the program. He helped us get the Matthew Stafford interview because that is Matthew Stafford's brother-in-law.
He is also 100% Chad, though.
And he actually might be a good interim.
His parents accurately named him.
Yeah, he could be a good interim because he does have the juice.
Their running backs coach, I've got my eye on this guy just because his name is Jerry Mack.
Okay.
That's a good
Jerry Mack.
That's a good interim head coach name. Phil Rauscher's got a nice goatee for an interim coach, kind of a Dan Campbell hat tip there. And then on defense, Ryan Nielsen has a fucking mustache. Look at this guy. Look at their defense.
Oh, yeah.
Although
Ryan Nielsen could be the guy.
I just don't know if you just got 50 hung on you.
Yeah, you can't
I don't know what
that.
kind of message that sends.
You can't do that.
Although maybe it makes your defense better because he's no longer coaching them.
That's true. Chad Hall. Chad Hall's he's a gritty guy.
Okay.
He's a gritty guy.
I'm going to guess Chad.
Chad Hall was the wide receivers coach for a while with the Bills.
All right,
he could be the guy.
Chad or J-Mac?
Chad or J-Mac?
Yeah. I just like saying Jerry Mack.
Yeah, not Mike McCoy. Remember, he was a head coach. He was bad.
Yeah, but he's got
for the Chargers.
Sometimes they like to do that, and they say this guy's got experience.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad Hall was. I think he played football at Air Force, so he would be.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, military time, everything. Also, is Trevor Lawrence just not going to play anymore?
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Why?
I'd agree.
Why would you want him to play right now?
Big time business decision.
Yeah. Got a family on the way.
Yeah. Okay, let's take another break and we'll go to the afternoon games. So you got a couple more ads, PFT?
Yes, before we get to the afternoon games, they're brought to you by Peloton. Good friends over at Peloton. I've been back on the bike the last few weeks here. I've been doing some of their outdoor runs as well. Love the Peloton app. Peloton has exactly what you need to stay on track with your fitness goals, no matter where you're at in life. Personally tried to squeeze fitness into my schedule. It's not always easy, but Peloton makes it possible with all kinds of classes that you can jump into. If you're a new parent, coming off an injury, training for something big, or just straight up busy, there's always something to keep you moving. And it's not just cycling and running. Peloton has a whole lineup of challenging workouts, strength training, high-intensity interval training, yoga, stretching. There's always a new way to push yourself or meet the moment, whatever your goal is. Plus, the Peloton All-Access membership makes it easy to work out anywhere, at home, on the bike, or tread, or even on the go with the app. It's been a game changer if I'm traveling or if I'm stuck at the office I'm not around my bike. Also, I did one of their rowing classes the other day. Really good. Peloton's got it all. Check it out. They also have meditations too. Those moments of zen come in clutch if you need a reset, so you're ready to start strong. Peloton's got the tools to help you crush your goals season after season. Find your push, find your power with Peloton at onepeloton.com. Onepeloton.com. Check them out. This podcast is also brought to you by NASCAR. The adrenaline of the Daytona 500 is something you have to experience in person. There's nothing like witnessing the stars of NASCAR battle for position going 200 miles per hour on a 2.5-mile speedway. 40 drivers competing amongst the likes of Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain, and Bubba Wallace as they try to make their mark to set a historic NASCAR season. You won't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime sporting event, the Daytona 500. Purchase your tickets today for the 2025 Daytona 500 at Daytona500.com. Daytona500.com. That's a bucket list event to go to, by the way. Daytona 500 seems electric.
Okay, afternoon games. Max alluded to this, but Broncos 38, Falcons 6. I'm so happy I came out as a believer.
Tried to get you on
this
board.
Game. Well, you understand. Like I explained it. I had been through the Auburn Bo Nix. I had Oregon future last year. I've been hurt many times by Bo Nix, but I am a believer as of last Friday. And holy shit, did he light it up! 307 yards, 4 touchdowns, 28 for 33. The first rookie quarterback ever to have a game with 80% completion percentage, 4 or more touchdowns, and 300 or more yards. The Broncos, that's how you get off the mat against, with a terrible, terrible loss to the Chiefs. They get off the mat. They throttle the Falcons. And now we have to have the difficult conversation. Is Bo Nix going to win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I mean, he's worked his way back into contention for it. What are the odds right now?
I will look them up right now.
Because for a while, Jaden was like minus 400, but it's got to be much, much closer than that right now.
Yeah.
Bo Nix playing awesome. The last 9 games for Bo Nix have been unreal in terms of scoring touchdowns and not turning the ball over.
Yeah,
he stopped, which it's like give and take for me with Bo, because part of what I loved about Bo, at least early on in the season, is he did make some of those crazy laser beam throws directly at a defender.
Correct.
But he stopped doing that now, so it's only good Bo. We're getting just good Bo now.
I think it's down right now, maybe because until after Monday night.
Maybe.
Right now it's just MVP I'm seeing on DraftKings.
Although it shouldn't be, because there's no Monday night rookies playing that I can think of. Cooper Rush, does he still have rookie eligibility? Trey Lance, can he still be considered a rookie?
Who the Texans have?
Texans don't have offensive rookies. So either way, Bo Nix has been incredible. Bo Nix, he right now has 14 touchdowns, 2,200 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. Max, you think we all picked the wrong guy? Which, by the way, would be very funny if Bo Nix went on to win like multiple Super Bowls, and then we could just all be miserable together.
And there's a shitload of tape of us saying bad things about Bo Nix over the last year.
I don't take anything back, because, again, I've been hurt by Bo Nix so many times.
I mean, even like during the draft. Before I saw him in a Broncos uniform, I think we all thought the same thing, which was Sean Payton found his son.
But that's my point, is I had history. Bo Nix didn't come into the NFL as a rookie. Bo Nix was part of my life for what feels like a decade.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's playing incredible ball, and the Broncos look good. Like, their defense is good. Their defense completely discombobulated the Falcons. They looked so bad today, and that like I said, that's how you get off the mat. Like, the Broncos are a good football team, and to respond like that after a loss like they had to the Chiefs, where you saw the quotes afterwards saying that was a gut punch and it was going to be tough to come back from. They came back from it, and they demolished the Falcons.
Okay, so we alluded to this on Friday's show, but an update to it. Sean Payton is now 4-0 against the NFC South.
Yes.
His point differential is plus 88.
Wow.
He's averaging, I'm not a math guy, 22 points.
Killing him.
Of point differential against all those teams in the division that he used to coach.
Killing them. This game was never even, like, it wasn't even, the Falcons never got, I think their first drive was decent, and they got a field goal, and it was 7-3, and then you blinked, and it was over.
Yeah,
and Bo Nix just was dicing them up.
The defense is suffocating. The rare times that Bijan Robinson got the ball in open space, it closed up really quickly on him.
Yeah.
He was able to get like one cut in, 1.5 cuts, and boom, get hit. The defense for the Broncos they are really, really good. Yes, they got their asses kicked by the Ravens. But they're a very good football team, I think.
And on the Falcons side, I'm done with the Falcons. They're like they could be in the playoffs because they obviously have those 2 wins over the Bucs, so it's gonna be hard for the Bucs to. Although I wouldn't be shocked because the Bucs could get Mike Evans back, but I think I'm done with the Falcons. They don't do anything on defense. I mean, they don't rush the passer whatsoever. I love Bijan. They're so frustrating to watch defensively that I think I have to be done with them. They're not going to – like this is – the NFC South for the first month and a half of the season, especially the first 2 weeks, we were like, holy shit, Saints are incredible. Or, Saints look great. The Falcons, have some big-time games. They had a couple tragic losses. The Bucs are firing everywhere. Baker. The NFC South is back to just being the NFC South where I don't – are they going to win a playoff game? The NFC South, maybe if the Bucs get in because Baker. But I don't. Good. I just don't. I don't know what to make of the Falcons. I'll
tell you what to make.
Thoroughly
of the Falcons.
unimpressed.
Tell you what to make of the Falcons. They are Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
it's perfect. It's actually a perfect marriage that they have because if you look at them, they have lost to every really good team, every good team that they've played, and then
not true.
The Eagles. Well, you guys, the Eagles lost that game.
They beat the Eagles.
I don't know if the Falcons won that.
Depends on what you think of the Bucs too.
Depends on what you think of the Bucs, but the Falcons are exactly who you would think that they are. They're going to be an above-average team ultimately because there's a lot of shitty teams in the league. They're probably going to make the playoffs. They might not win a playoff game. They might win a squeaker in the first round, but I don't think that they're going to do any damage whatsoever in the NFC.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Bucs to make the playoffs now, even in spite of Stephen Shea because
he's been released.
He's been released, and I like Baker is more fun in a playoff setting than what I'm watching from the. I just don't understand how they get nothing in terms of defensive push, and they signed Matthew Judon.
Yeah,
it's crazy to watch.
Yeah, I mean this was an ass kicking from start to finish. Michael Penix got in with, it felt like the entire fourth quarter in front of him.
Yeah.
Didn't look bad, actually. Shout out Michael Penix. But, yeah, it's a good time to be a Broncos fan.
I kind of want to bet the Bucs to win the NFC South. They play basically the identical schedules down the stretch. The only difference being I believe the Bucs have a game against the Cowboys, which might be good now that Dak is out. So that but other than that, they kind of have the same schedule. Like they both play the Raiders, both play the Giants, both play the Panthers. So it's going to be tough for the Bucs to make it up because they've lost both the games to the Saints. But I'm Team Bucs. Sorry, Falcons fans. I just can't. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what you can do. Give the ball, make the whole team out of Bijan because I love him, but I just can't watch your defense anymore.
I got news for you. I think that the Broncos could get 11 wins.
Yeah,
I think it's very possible.
I was talking about the Falcons and Bucs, but yeah.
But we said a couple weeks ago that this was going to be like the hard part of the Broncos schedule because they had to go up against the Ravens, had to go at the Chiefs, and then the Falcons. They might have been a good team. We weren't really sure. Now I think we have a better understanding. But then they get the Raiders, the Browns, the Colts, the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Chiefs. I think 10 or 11 wins is very, very realistic for the Broncos.
11 is going to be probably tough.
I have a feeling like they're going to win one of those two games against either the Chargers or the Chiefs at home.
They'd have to go 5-1 down the stretch.
Yeah.
But the Broncos are good. The Broncos are a good team, and they feel like the future is bright for the first time in a long time with the Broncos because since Peyton Manning, they've been through a lot of shit. They've they had Peyton Manning, and then the decade it's been, or 9 years since then, they've been going through quarterbacks and been, going through coaches and kind of a laughingstock for a franchise that was the model of consistency for a very long time. But now it feels like they're going the right direction.
So you can look at this one of two ways. The first being like Sean Payton, great job against the NFC South. But then when you take away all those games and you're left with what they've done besides those games,
yeah,
they've won 2 games outside of the NFC South. They've beaten the Jets 10-9.
No longer a good win. Never a good win.
And then they beat the Raiders. Those are the 2 wins outside that division.
Those aren't big ones. Yeah.
They're not. Yeah. So now I'm talking my way out of it now. I don't know.
All right, let's not put.
They almost beat the Chiefs, though.
All right, but let's
did.
not
Good point.
let's
Good
not
point.
put a cap on the if the Broncos don't get to 10 or 11 wins, that's not a failure of a season because it feels like they have a quarterback that they can build around and they have a good young defense and like Sean Payton might have his mojo back. So it's the future's bright because we don't want to say they're going to win 10 or 11 games and then they don't. Like, oh man, that was a disappointing season.
Because we set them up for that.
Yeah,
failure.
we set them up for failure.
That's what
Let's
we
not do that.
But that's our job.
It is our
as
job.
the media.
We got a job to do. They got a job to do.
If the Broncos, they play at the best of their ability today, if they can do that, they should win the Super Bowl.
What is their if they play the Super Bowl against Falcons, I'm taking the Broncos.
I'm taking the Broncos minus 31
Moving
and a half.
What so if the playoffs started today, the Broncos would be in. And if they can get to 10 wins, they should get in there because the teams behind them have a lot of like ground to make up, especially now that the Bengals, which we'll get to, have caught another loss, and we'll have to discuss that. Still don't want to stop believing in them, which I should. But the Broncos do feel like they should get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
With that schedule coming up, they should.
Yeah, and the Falcons, I don't know. I'm just whatever with the Falcons.
Hank, are you doing reminders?
Whatever.
Yes.
Hank, can you remind me to bet against the Falcons in Super Wild Card Weekend?
Yes.
Please.
Let me just look up the date. Bet against.
Although, if it was started right now, it'd be the Vikings getting against the Falcons. That's 2 franchises with some really sad playoff history.
Mm-hmm.
And they played in a very famous game.
That's true, but also Kirk Cousins' revenge game in the playoffs.
Tie. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Fun storyline. Okay, another team I don't know what the fuck to make of. Well, actually, both of them. Seahawks 20, Niners 17. I think the Niners are in a lot of trouble because I said it on Friday. Like, I was like, I think they're in a lot of trouble, and they blew another fourth quarter lead. Geno Smith, this was the full Geno Smith roller coaster of a game where we had a terrible interception, another snap issue where if you, we've said it a million times, but if you watch a Seahawks game without fail, at least once a game, they'll lose 10 to 15 yards on a snap problem. But then Geno put on his hero cape and led a fourth quarter drive that was awesome. He was 7 for 8, 54 yards, 2 rushes, 29 yards. He now, since 2023, has 7 fourth quarter game-winning drives. That's the most in the NFL. That's Geno Smith. The whole roller coaster. You saw it all with Geno Smith today. The bad, the good, the ugly, the great. It was there.
And it was weird because the Seahawks, they kept it relatively close, but it didn't feel like they had enough going on where they were going to win. But you kept watching the Niners fail to put them away, and you're like, they're just letting the Seahawks hang around way, way, way too long here. The Seahawks could fuck around and win this game. It seemed like every time I looked up, JSN had another catch for 12 yards, and little by little they got it done at the end. I am very worried about the Niners now. I figured that they were going to
join me.
I thought that they were going to kick the shit out of the Seahawks today.
Yeah.
The NFL makes no sense.
And they play at Green Bay and at Buffalo their next 2 games, the Niners. So and if you look at the standings, they're 1-3 in the NFC West.
Yeah.
So the NFC West is a complete shit show. Very fun division, but it's a shit show because every team is still very much alive. And the Niners, this is this happened in the Cardinals game. This happened in the Seahawks game. This happened in the Rams game, where they can't put teams away. And I know they didn't have Kittle today, and obviously Brandon Ayuk's out, but it's very concerning. They cannot. It seems like they cannot put teams away and win these games where they feel like the better team for 3 quarters, and then it just falters. And Brock Purdy, he was running for his life. I give a lot of credit to Seahawks defense. They were all over the place. The only person they couldn't guard was Juwan Jennings, but the Seahawks defense was flying. Brock Purdy felt like he had to scramble for 1,000,000 yards in the pocket and then out of the pocket. And yeah, the Niners, it's crazy how quickly you can look at it and be like, wow, the Niners, this is going to be very, very, they don't have much margin for error going down the stretch.
Nobody in that division does.
No.
Even the Cardinals, who lead the division right now, I think they're up by 1 game, right? and then there's a 3-way tie for second place.
Although the Niners would be in fourth place because they're 1-3 in the division.
When you look, but what I'm saying is like no team can, like, tiebreakers are one thing, but no team in that division should be comfortable right now.
No,
it's going to be chaos.
Yeah, and with the NFC North, the 3 teams in the NFC North all playing well, there's not a lot of room for error. And your Commanders, like, that's the 7th seed is not. You're going to have to get to probably 11 wins.
It's going to be, I think, one team out of the West.
Yeah,
I'm pretty confident with that.
Yeah, well, it better be, because if it's not, then something bad happened to you.
Something bad happened to either me or to maybe the Packers.
That's true. That would be
think
nice.
about that.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Okay, so the Seahawks off a bye with their leading. So their leading tackler got cut, and then another guy retired, and they answered the bell.
And then Geno Smith hit him with a night-night.
Night-night. He did the Steph Curry night-night.
Yeah, so there was a 90.3% win probability that the Niners had.
That's every game for them.
It is. It's crazy. So I was looking at the chart, and I was like, that seems bad, but no, this is kind of the story of how Kyle Shanahan's been operating recently.
Yeah. Every game for them feels like they have it, and then, oh, whoops, something happened. I mean, like I said, especially in the division, they lost that Rams game. They got outscored 13-3 in the fourth quarter in that game. The Cardinals game earlier in the year, remember when they were like, what were they, 10-point favorites or something? The Cardinals beat them 11-0 in the fourth quarter. So they can't put teams away.
Yeah.
They just cannot put teams away. And I know Kittle would definitely help, but they can't put teams away right now.
Yeah, they broke into all their bag of magic tricks that they had without Kittle in. They were trying to get the ball around, trying to have different people rush it, spread it around a lot on offense. 0 catches today for Ricky Pearsall, though.
Yeah.
And that's the guy that you can go to downfield, and I don't even know if they targeted him. Maybe they targeted him a couple times, but the offense it's not fun. I used to watch the 49ers play and be excited to watch them play.
Mm-hmm.
And that stopped when this season started.
Yeah.
Even though they got Christian McCaffrey back, they're not fun to watch on offense right now.
No, they're not. They're not. They're broken. All right, last game in the afternoon slate, and then we'll talk Sunday Night Football. Bills 30, Chiefs 21. The Chiefs' perfect season is done. The Bills, Sean McDermott has learned. He's starting to learn. He's getting smarter, because this game essentially came down to the 4th and 2 on the Chiefs' 26-yard line, where the Bills could have kicked a field goal to go up 5, and he said, wait a second, Patrick Mahomes is on the other sideline. If I go up 5, he will go down, score a touchdown, and rip all of our hearts out of our chest. And he said, Josh Allen, go do something crazy, and that's exactly what he did with the 26-yard touchdown run to win the game, seal the game. Good for the Bills for getting smarter and winning a game like this. I know they've beaten the Chiefs, I think, 4 straight years in the regular season, and then lost 3 straight years in the playoffs, so this doesn't really mean much, but it's still nice because they have a chance at the 1 seed, and Sean McDermott's getting smarter.
It's also better than the alternative.
Correct.
So the alternative is to lose to the Chiefs in the regular season and then
Yes.
lose to them again in the playoffs.
Right.
This is better. You would rather have the confidence that maybe you can win if your coach doesn't absolutely screw himself over during the game. And, if Sean McDermott had kicked that field goal and then kicked off to Mahomes and then lost, I would say there would be an argument to be made for Sean McDermott to start packing his bags after the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, he's at that point, it's like, what have you learned?
Yeah. And
Nothing, because everybody that's watching this knew that was the right call. You would have been an utter bonehead not to do it. Also, congratulations to Josh Allen, because on that rushing play, he became the all-time leader in rushing touchdown for the Bills, surpassing O.J. Simpson.
Oh, nice.
A record that the Bills were desperately hoping
That's
would be
huge.
broken. Fuck you, O.J.
That's huge. He has more than Thurman Thomas?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. Good for Josh Allen.
He remains 2 ahead of O.J. in the category of people that he never murdered, though.
That's also a fact. I think right now the Bills are a better team than the Chiefs. Obviously, the playoffs are a different animal, and Patrick Mahomes will do Patrick Mahomes things and will be like, hey, how'd they win 3 in a row? But the Bills' defense is good. Their offense is good. They couldn't even run the ball today, and Josh was without Keon Coleman and Dawson Knox, and they still found a way. They're going to get Matt Milano back. Like, the Bills, like you said last week, for a team that had their championship window close, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, this is all extra
for an
them.
off year.
No one expects the Bills to do anything this
For
year.
a rebuilding year, they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It turns out you can rebuild when you have Josh Allen as your quarterback.
Yeah, and you let Josh Allen be Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
let him go back there and figure something out.
Yeah.
And he'll make it happen. Except there was a moment at the end of the first half where Allen threw that interception where the Chiefs go down, and I think they get 3 points out of it. But to me, that felt like one that we're going to be looking at the end of the game and be like, fuck, Mahomes has the ball down like 3 points.
Yeah.
And now he's going to go win the game because of that costly interception.
Yeah.
But no, the Bills overcame it. Congratulations to Buffalo.
No, Josh didn't play a perfect game, but he did just enough, especially at the end of the game. And he is very much in the MVP conversation. Also, the Bills defense did a very good job of bottling up Travis Kelce, which, he's killed them in the past. I think he had 8 yards total.
Then they went to Brock, though. That left Brock open. Or excuse me,
Noah
Gray.
Gray, yeah. Also, this is a crazy stat. The Chiefs, the Bills scored 30 points. That's the 5th straight game they scored 30 points. The Chiefs hadn't allowed 28-plus points in a regular season game since Week 4, 2022 to Tom Brady. So that was 38 straight games that their defense held a team under 28, which is a winning recipe when you have Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
But it also showed that if the Chiefs' defense doesn't ball out, the Chiefs' offense is it's not the perfect offense, and they have a lot of answers, but they don't have every answer to play in like a shootout type game.
There was a moment in the first half where I thought to myself, like, how the fuck did the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy? Oh, yeah, the Bills let the Chiefs have Xavier Worthy. But then you see where Xavier Worthy is lacking what the Chiefs have had in the past at receiver, which is I think Xavier Worthy has the least amount of sideline awareness of any receiver in the NFL.
Also,
it's happened to him a few times this year where he's wide open downfield for like 40 yards, and then he catches it and doesn't even think to get – I think today he dragged his foot a full I think it was a full step before the ball got there.
Yeah.
And so then he just steps out of bounds. Earlier this year, he just stood out of bounds and made a catch. It's small things that maybe this is how the Chiefs are getting me right now. Maybe it's like, okay, they're convincing me that they're a flawed football team, that they don't have it like they did in years past. And then all of a sudden the playoff Xavier Worthy is going to have like a perfect understanding of how to get his toes in.
Yeah. I know there's still, they're both rookies, but I would much rather have Keon Coleman right now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the meme. Like, I can't believe the Bills let Xavier, the Chiefs get Xavier Worthy. Well, they got Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
And I know he didn't play in this game, but Keon Coleman has looked like he has been more of a complete receiver in the last month and a half. And Xavier Worthy's nice. Xavier Worthy is super, super fast, but he hasn't been like a guy that you can go to time and time again. So that one we might have gotten ahead of ourselves.
Maybe. I still think Xavier Worthy.
Week 1, we were just like, damn. Xavier Worthy.
It was his first touch.
Yeah.
First time he touched the ball, scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think Xavier Worthy is going to be really, really good and very, very good fit for Patrick Mahomes. But I think most receivers would probably be a better fit with Mahomes than anybody else.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So this was a great game, though. We had great football on Sunday. And we should talk about the Sunday Night Football game, which we just ended up watching. By the way, so the Chiefs, obviously, first loss. It will be very interesting because now with the Steelers winning and the Bills winning, the 1 seed is definitely up for grabs, and the Steelers do play the Chiefs. So it will be interesting how it shakes out. But the Bills have a little bit of a tough schedule because they have to play the Niners, and I think they have to go to the Lions.
Yeah.
But this is up for grabs, and it feels so important to get that 1 seed in the AFC because the AFC is so top-heavy that, like, if you get the 1 seed and you can avoid playing the Chiefs, or if you're the Bills and you can avoid playing the Chiefs in the second round, that would be pretty nice. And vice versa. So
last year it was it the second round? Steelers had to go to the Chiefs and got the shit kicked out of them, I believe, right?
No, the Steelers.
That was wild
Steelers
card.
haven't won a playoff game in
that was wild card.
8
That was
years.
week 1 of the playoffs last year.
The Steelers went to the Bills.
Went to the Bills? What am I looking at here? What
I
year
don't
is
know.
this?
I don't know what year you're looking at. Remember, it was the snow. They changed the game.
2012.
Changed the time
Oh yeah.
of the game.
This is a couple years ago. But,
Yeah. That was the TJ Watt first touchdown game when the Steelers had to go to the Chiefs.
Oh,
that
that's
was
right.
Like 2
For
or
a
3
second,
years ago.
we thought, yeah,
Yeah.
Hank might have won a shitload of money.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't get the feeling like Mahomes can go into Pittsburgh and do the same kind of stuff that he's done in the past, like going into Buffalo and shutting them down. I feel like the Steelers' defense at home is good enough to stop Mahomes.
He last year he went into Buffalo and Baltimore, so I'm not going to say that Mahomes can't go into anywhere and win.
I feel like the Steelers' defense though at home,
but he's Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Listen, maybe you might be right. The Steelers might be able to, but I'm never going to doubt Patrick Mahomes going anywhere in a playoff game. After last year, when it was like the Chiefs are bad and they have to go play at Buffalo, then they have to go play at Baltimore, and they beat them both.
Yeah.
That kind of ended that one for me.
I don't know. Tomlin at home, nighttime playoff game.
Yeah.
Towels going.
Yeah.
Cold.
I'm getting pumped up for playoff football. Which you probably, unfortunately, are not if you are a Bengals fan, because the Sunday Night Football game was incredible. Chargers 34, Bengals 27. This game was everything that we wanted out of both teams, because we had the Chargers were incredible in the first half. Then Justin Herbert was bad for a good portion of the third and fourth quarter, and Joe Burrow put the Bengals on his back and was like, we're winning this game. I'm going to do everything we can. And then they just both kind of like lost their minds. The Bengals miss a couple kicks. Evan McPherson misses a couple kicks. There was that stretch where we had, 11 plays in a minute?
It was 11 plays in a minute. I'm pulling up the exact the drives here.
Because they both lost their mind.
They did, because it was a tie game. It was 27-27, and both teams felt like they were going to try to – Max, are you just hitting yourself in the head with a football right now? You okay?
I have ADD.
Okay. He was seriously like slamming at full speed into his head.
ADD?
It was 27-27, and both teams felt like they had to throw the ball to win.
Yeah.
And neither team wanted to admit that they might want to give up on this game and just take it to overtime. So what ended up happening was the ball going back and forth at the end through incompletions. And it was insane. I felt like I was going crazy, like neither one of these coaches has ever watched the end of a football game before.
Yeah, no, it was the one where the Evan McPherson misses a kick. There's a minute and 45 seconds left. The Chargers have, I think, 2 timeouts, and they need, 25 yards to get in range for Dicker the kicker, and they just went pass, incompletion, and punted it back to Joe Burrow 10 seconds later. Mm-hmm. It's like, run the ball and try to get, run a little clock off. You have timeouts, get some yards, and then the Bengals just did the same thing back to them, and you get the end of the game where, not to make it about the Bears, but Jim Harbaugh did everything that Matt Eberflus cannot do. In both, he basically took both the Commanders and the Packers loss into one last minute of the game, because with 1st and 10 on like the Bengals, whatever it was, 25, and a timeout in his pocket, instead of just, being like, oh, we'll kick a field goal from here, they ran a play and J.K. Dobbins scored a touchdown. And then when the Hail Mary, they played sideline defense, took a timeout before the Hail Mary and blitzed Joe Burrow and didn't let him get a clean pass off, and were able to win the game.
Yeah, so it was, I believe...
Good job, Jim Harbaugh. You're a good coach.
I believe it was 15 plays in the last 2 minutes, but in that first minute after the 2-minute warning, I think they got 11 plays off in that short time span. And at the end, we were talking about with Harbaugh, like trying to go for the win and continuing to actually play offensive football. Do you think for a second that Brandon Staley would have done that?
No.
Brandon Staley would have been so happy to settle for like a 52-yard field goal.
Hell no.
And if you know anything about the history of the Chargers, and I think Harbaugh's done research about the history of the Chargers' painful losses.
Yes.
Because he managed that in a way that was so completely different from everything that the team has done in the past that makes you think he's actually sat down and watched that.
Yeah, because they almost charged this game away.
They did.
Like Justin
They
Herbert
tried.
was, I think he was 6 for 20 at one point in the second half, where he was almost perfect in the first half.
They tried. Joe Burrow played an awesome second half.
He always has to.
Yeah.
He has to put the team on his back constantly. Maybe if they had done more on offense in the first half, because they only scored 6 points in the first half. But I'm sad that the Bengals can't make the playoffs. I wish they just put them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they're not making the playoffs. I think I'm ready to officially say the Bengals are not going to make the playoffs.
I'm going to look at the playoffs, and when they come out, I'm going to think that the Bengals would be favored over like 70%.
They might not be favored over them, but they would be the team no one wants to play.
Yeah.
100%. What is they have to play the Steelers, the Cow. I mean, they have to win every game. They have to win every game. They have to run the table. They have to go 6-0 down the stretch to finish 10-7 and have a chance to make the playoffs. And they have to play the Steelers twice. So I don't know how they're going to win every game. And the Broncos are in there as well. I don't know how.
We've also said the same thing about the Bengals for I think the last 5 weeks.
But they keep losing games like this where they look, their offense looks incredible, and T. Higgins was finally back, and he was awesome, and they just put themselves in such a hole this season.
Do you see that one reporter's tweet about how you can tell if T. Higgins is going to play?
Why?
It's based on how he goes up the hill to practice.
Oh.
Because the Bengals have to cross a street to get to their practice facility, and then there's a small hill that they have to go up. And I think when he's not going to play that week, he walks up the hill, and when he is going to play, he does like a little jog up it.
Hey, Mike Brown, why wouldn't you just pay T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and because they're really fun to watch in tandem, and they're really, really hard to defend.
Yeah,
really, really hard to defend.
I just think he doesn't want to pay him.
Yeah, no, he's cheap, and it's got to be so frustrating for Bengals fans because this team. Like you're going to look back at this season and it's going to be a season that you just like, how did we blow this? How did we not make it to the playoffs? We had it. You lost to the Patriots week 1. You lost to the Ravens in 2 games where you could have easily won either of them.
I think
this game tonight. I think Evan McPherson makes a kick and it's totally different.
I think Mike Brown looks at his receivers and he's like, I guess I have to pay one of you guys because you have to have one good receiver. But the more I pay my second receiver, that just means I'm going to have to pay my quarterback more in like 6 years.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that either.
Also, I gave you guys the stat about Matt Eberflus in one-score games. Zach Taylor also not great in one-score games. So he is 39% in one-score games, which is third worst or second worst of active coaches because Dennis Allen was second, but he's not an active coach anymore. By the way, Max, Nick Sirianni is second best behind only Kevin O'Connell. These are from Stathole in one-score games. Pretty good.
Great coach.
Pretty good.
But how many of those are backdoor one-score games?
I don't know.
Where you've got a 2-score game and then you take your foot off the gas.
Who? For Nick Sirianni?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, true. It's a good point.
Got to think about it.
You do have to think about it.
Consider a thought.
Okay.
Thought.
And how'd you process it?
I don't know.
By the way, thank you to everyone who bet with us on the TD parlay. We hit one.
Decisively.
Easy.
Decisive. Next week, when we do our show on Thursday, we have to be decisive. Shout out that AWO who told me you guys need to be decisive. When you're not decisive, it's got a 0% chance of hitting.
J.K. Dobbins, he was like an exclamation point with the second touchdown.
Yeah, they didn't even want him to score the first one. They ran 3 plays without him on the field.
All right, so I heard some people saying that J.K. Dobbins should have gone down instead of scoring that last touchdown. I say to that person, you need a better understanding of the history of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like, yes, Joe Burrow had 18 seconds left. There's a lot that can go wrong with a field goal in that minute.
I'll take a chance with that.
Yeah.
I'll take a chance with that for sure. Because especially, I mean, we know kicks get blocked. The Broncos last week. That happens.
Yep.
That happens. Okay. I have what? It did. It happened last week.
Yeah, no, kicks get blocked.
The kicks get blocked. They do. Sometimes they get blocked. The Broncos against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Rollback question. RHOBACK.com. Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, 20% off your purchase. Rowback.com. Promo code TAKE. Do we want to do a quick who can win the Super Bowl recap?
Yeah. Bills.
I think it's Bills,
Steelers.
Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, Chargers.
Yeah, right.
Hank doesn't think the Chargers can win the Super Bowl.
And you know they can't. We were arguing about this in the studio when the Chargers were up, and then Big Cat was like, save it for the show, save it for the show. Chargers proceeded to blow the lead.
They chargered.
And then he was like, I take it all back. But now
I'm back.
But you know, I think in that 30 minutes showed you everything that I was saying was correct, and that, yes, they're a good team. Yes, they have Harbaugh. Yeah, they have a good quarterback, sure. They are not beating the Bills. They're not beating the Chiefs. They're not beating the Steelers. They're not beating the Ravens. They're not beating the Lions. They're probably not beating the Eagles. They're not winning the Super Bowl. They will make the playoffs. They might win a game in the playoffs. They will not win the Super Bowl.
Still a good bet.
if you're gonna cash out, that's
40 to 1,
The conversation
35
started
to
with being
1.
like-
We talked about it at 45 to
what do
1.
you-
They're down to 20 to 1.
But if you don't cash out, it's a bad bet.
But that was good eyes.
But you have to cash out.
But it was good eyes.
for it to
Admit
be a
that
good
part.
bet.
Admit that part.
Yeah, kind of.
We talked about it at 45 to 1. They're down to 20 to 1.
Are you going to cash out?
Hank has put me in a spot now where I don't think I can because I want them to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to laugh in his face.
One of them.
If you're not going to cash
I'm gonna
out,
cash out
then
one of
it's
them.
then it's a bad bet.
I have
like
a
by
35.
very definition.
I have a 35 to 1 and a 40. No, because the Chargers could win the Super Bowl. And then when they do, I'm going to laugh in your face.
I think it's a good bet.
What
if
do you have
cash
to do
out.
if they win the Super Bowl?
Eat a column. I don't know.
I think you have to get a back tattoo of a lightning bolt.
Or a cat.
I'll get a lightning bolt tat. If the Chargers
I'm talking Ben Affleck back tattoo.
but I will get a back tattoo of a lightning bolt if the Chargers
How
win the
big?
Super Bowl this year. Depends how much they win the Super Bowl by.
How big?
points.
They get
10
an
points.
inch for every point.
So but what are we starting with?
1 inch.
To win the Super Bowl? They get what? That's it?
If they win the Super Bowl by 1, I'll get a 1 inch charger or lightning bolt. If they win by 20,
20 inches.
20 inches.
Now I need this.
I think Hank, you should have
Blow
to
'em
buy the
out.
Boltman costume.
I need him to blow them out. Okay, so Chargers are not could win the Super Bowl according to Hank.
I would also agree. I think
Max,
it's a good bet if you cash out, but they cannot win the Super
Max,
Bowl.
would you find it interesting that the two people who don't think the Chargers can win the Super Bowl are the two people who already cashed out the Chargers' future that we placed as a podcast together from camaraderie?
Not me.
That was because
Yeah.
of responsible gambling. Are you saying that you don't encourage responsible
I'm
gambling?
just saying that you guys both, if you guys had stayed the course as a podcast,
I got too
would
many
you be
futures.
thinking differently?
Conviction.
I do
Yeah,
responsible
conviction.
gambling because I
Yeah.
don't like to give away money. I like to actually have a chance to win it.
Yes. Also, there's just too
But
many
you
futures.
cashed out for a loss. You could have
what
stayed
about,
the course.
What about
No,
J.K.
they
Dobbins
cashed
2
out
plus,
for-
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, cash out of that and bet the Bengals. Whatever. Fuck you, Max.
All right.
Well,
And then
I was just.
And then in the NFC, I'm going to say the Eagles and the Lions. Maybe the Cardinals. I don't know. No, not the Cardinals.
49ers can make a run.
No, I don't think so. I don't.
They could make a run.
I could see them. I could still see the Vikings.
No.
I could.
Let's get serious.
Falcons.
No.
No. Were you listening when we were talking about the Falcons? They can't rush the passer. We're getting to the real football time.
Maybe the Packers.
We're getting Jordan Love just throws picks. Guy stinks. He gets lucky. Okay. Let's do Who's Back of the Week and wrap up the show. Good show, boys. Coors Light. Our friends at Coors Light. No matter what happens between your favorite rivals this week, you got a chance to win. Just go to the PMT Instagram and tell us how you prepare for a rivalry game with Coors Light. For an opportunity to win the Coors Light rivalry shirt, 5 winners will be selected every Saturday until December 7th. So remember, when rivalries get a little overheated, choose chill and keep things cool by reaching for the Mountain Cold Refreshment of Coors Light. Coors Light's Mountain Cold Refreshment literally made it chill. Coors Light's cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Rockies, perfect for a moment to unwind. Even the biggest rivals agree when it's time to cool things down and enjoy the game. You choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/take, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. That's CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. The Bengals also could win the Super Bowl.
If they were allowed to play in it.
If they can get in, if they can run the table, they could win the Super Bowl.
If the NFL stepped in at the last second and said every team from the AFC has been disqualified, Bengals, you're our only hope, then I would think that they could, but then they'd lose.
Yeah. They would lose in a tragic fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad for Bengals fans.
Same.
I mean, think about if you're, yeah, I feel bad for Bengals fans because that was 3 years ago, Burrowhead, all that stuff.
Well, and they're playing well, and it's like the Chiefs are playing bad, but they're like, I feel like the Bengals have played better than the Chiefs have this whole season.
The thing, yeah,
I'm not joking.
yeah.
I mean, they've had some bad losses.
Offense. See, when we think
But,
about playing better, we think
Yeah.
about offense.
Yeah,
and their offense
Their
has been
defense
better.
has been bad.
Defense very bad.
The Chiefs' defense is very good.
The tough part about being a Bengals fan is also that you know that you're not going to go out and fix your needs in free agency.
No. No.
You're going to have
I feel bad.
like a great draft next year.
Yeah, I feel very bad. Because, if you had talked to a Bengals fan after the 2021 season when they go to a Super Bowl, you're like, this is going to be awesome. And this is the worst part about sports is like Joe Burrow gets injured for a year gone.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is bad, takes a huge step back and is bad, year gone. And it's just like you start doing the math in your head and you're like, fuck. How are we 3 years down the road and we haven't been even like remotely back to it?
Yeah, but at times you look like you're back.
Yeah, they play fun offense, but their defense they've not played better than the Chiefs this year.
Take it back.
No. My test.
My test. All right, who's back of the week?
Who's back of the week is Rory McIlroy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He won the race to Dubai.
Yes.
He said that. He said that's what he was focusing on.
That's
right?
all he cares
The
about.
prestigious race to Dubai. It's his 6th race to Dubai. He loves racing to Dubai. He does it and wins every year.
It's the perfect tournament for him because we're all watching football, and so he has no pressure. And if he chokes, no one would even know.
Yeah, it was actually like when I woke up this morning and opened my phone because it's Dubai, it was the first thing I saw. So no one even watched it either.
No.
It was like, congrats to Rory for winning at
race
8
to
a.m.
Dubai.
this morning.
So
yeah.
was this it was in Dubai?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like one of those.
Well, they raced to it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
but
it's like
this
like that
tournament's the
horse
road
race
to
where they
Dubai.
race across the desert. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like one of those where they start in one place and go and end up in Dubai. I'm not sure.
But he won the road to Dubai.
Yeah.
So now does he have to go to Dubai?
I think he won it there.
So that's confusing. The road to Dubai is played in Dubai.
Yeah. Well, no, the road to Dubai leads up to
I
it.
think it's the race to Dubai.
Yeah, it's a race to Dubai, and then he leads up to what he won today, the DP World Tour.
This trophy is incredible. Look at this thing.
That's why he's so focused on it.
Yeah, he loves it. He's got
What is this
6
little,
of
like
them.
walking stick?
It's a scepter.
Why
That's
did he get 2 trophies?
To hold up
Well, I think
6 for this trophy is quite something. Quite something.
Yeah. It's like Jordan.
One more Ty Brady.
Yeah. Good for Rory.
Best to ever do it.
Good for Rory.
Good for Rory.
His home course.
Yeah. Okay. PFT, your who's back of the week?
My who's back of the week is the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh.
Cavs are back. They played they put a graphic on the broadcast tonight. I'd like you guys to take a guess about this. Who do you think leads the NBA in wins? Player that has the most wins in the NBA since the year 2020.
Who has the most wins in the NBA since the 2020?
Yep, since the 2020 season. What player?
It's got to be Donovan Mitchell if you're asking that question.
Yeah.
No, it does not. It is the minivan, George Niang.
Oh, that makes
Wow.
sense.
George
Yeah.
Niang, 214. Nikola Jokic, distant second with only 203 wins. Then Tatum with 202. Drew Holiday with 201 wins.
Huh.
Weird stat.
Good for him.
I don't know how that works out.
Good for him.
And then also along those same lines, Inside the NBA is back
Yeah.
because they've agreed to keep it running next year. They're going to license it to ESPN. So it's not going off the air.
I'm happy we did a whole year where we said that it was going to be gone forever and everyone got really upset. It's like, I remember at the end of last year when everyone was pretending like it was done forever. I was like, wait, they have another year? They're going to get it figured
Yeah,
out.
so they got a victory lap and a goodbye tour.
Yeah, they did an obituary. They did a funeral for themselves.
That's got to be regular season wins.
It probably is regular season wins, but it didn't. Let's see what the graphic says.
Yeah, it's
here.
got to be regular season wins because he played on the Sixers, and that's not.
Just
Why
so-
are you still upset about that?
just as
I'm
most
not.
most
No,
player
man.
wins since
Oh.
2020.
That's a crazy stat. Good for George.
Yeah, he's our guy, front of the program. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Didn't the Sixers get the 1 seed a couple years?
Yeah, Sixers were good.
Yeah, they were good.
Regular season.
Regular season, they were
It's
really
football
good.
season. It's football season. It's football season.
What
Fun,
are they
you
good
guys
this
wanna
year?
hear? I actually have a fun stat too.
Jared McCain's really good.
Is this stat about the Celtics?
This was sent over from our stats guy, Paul.
Jason Tatum traveled.
He
is Paul bald? Our
I don't
stats
know.
guy. I've never met our stats guy.
I've never
Bald
seen
Paul?
I've never seen it without
Is
a
it
hat
Bald
on.
Paul?
I couldn't
When you
tell
say
ya.
when you say stats, what kind of stats are we talking about? here,
So he sent this.
Is
through
that?
our
Are you talking about the
department.
bar he likes to go to?
Hank? By stats, you mean body count?
No, the stat was that Paul said it was the 76ers are 11 games back, 12 games into their season.
I love that Gaz's clips of this show are so they crack me up every time.
He just takes every pro Hank stand.
Yeah, he just says he tweets a clip of Hank and says tell your co-hosts to like
That's a good stat though.
It's a good
relevant, good to the show.
What do you think about that stat, Max? What is the stat again?
The Sixers are 11 games back, 12 games into their season.
How's that
Wow.
possible? How's that possible to do, Hank?
Yeah, isn't that
I don't know. That's
That's
I
insane.
trust our stats department.
that's insane.
They're 12 games
Look at
back.
this travel from Jason Tatum. Look at this.
What are they 12 games back? of,
1,
Hank?
2,
the
3,
one seed?
4, dribble. He was doing like a
Oh wait, was that on the
Breakdown.
game-winning buzzer beater 3 he had last night?
travel.
Did you see the
Travel.
flagrant when Jaylen Brown almost got assaulted
Didn't watch
in
the
the
game.
back? Okay.
Travel.
Also, shout out to Julius
this
Randle.
clip,
It,
though.
it's no, it's in it's if they cut it before this clip. 1 second before this clip, Jaylen Brown almost got killed. Jason Tatum had to improvise, catch the game-winning 3.
Who'd they beat?
The Raptors.
Got it.
Raptors are having a good year, right?
They were playing good last night. It went to overtime.
All right.
You would suck a dick to beat the Raptors.
They're same record as us.
You'd still suck it.
All right, my
You guys
who's
played in
back.
the playoffs.
I think the Raptors beat us earlier in the year.
Oh
So that's a good
shit.
question, Hank. What'd you say?
So remember when you guys played in the playoffs?
Oh, I do remember that.
Nope.
That's when the process died.
I didn't exist yet.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, you did.
No, he didn't exist on this show.
He existed to me.
Yeah, that's true. All right, my who's back of the week is being a national sports podcast because people really like that. So, quick national sports podcast. The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. I guess credit to Jake Paul for not knocking out Mike Tyson. And we said it before, but this has been 2 decades of me buying. I guess I didn't buy the fight because it was Netflix, of watching Mike Tyson fights and being like, well, all it takes is one punch because he's Iron Mike. He had no chance of winning that. Jake Paul took mercy on his soul.
Which should never happen in a boxing match. Like, you should not spend rounds taking mercy on your opponent.
But I'm happy he
Like,
did because it would have been
No.
sad.
I get it. No, listen, it was the right move for him to do. I'm just saying the entire setup of it.
Oh, yeah.
If you're talking about, like, I always respect a guy in the UFC that clearly knocks his opponent out and doesn't go in for the kill shot.
Yeah.
And, like, try to kill him as he's on the ground unconscious. That's a cool thing to do. But if you're going to have a boxing match that is licensed as a boxing match, it should not be one guy taking, like, his foot off the gas, trying not to hurt his opponent.
Counterpoint, Mike Tyson is 60 years old.
And he also got 5 transfusions of blood.
Yeah.
He said he almost died over the summer.
Yeah.
He couldn't move forward. Like I was fixated on his right knee and how it,
No, he couldn't do
move it.
anything.
As a national podcast, we need to start the movement and take a stand because the worst part about that fight is that I think the takeaway was that it was a success. And it was such
not.
a
It
shitty,
was not.
shitty,
It was not.
shitty sporting event. But because of the numbers and the viewership and all that bullshit, they're going to be like, oh, we need to do more of this when it was so bad.
Okay, so as a national sports podcast, I think we should.
We need to bring back real fights.
I think
Yeah.
we should.
Like John
matter.
Jones, who's a beast.
Yeah.
National Sports Podcast, he's a beast. He's all the way back.
I'll say something good about the fight. One, it was very easy to find an illegal stream of it because Netflix just fucked up. Netflix, and they're doing Christmas games. They're not ready.
They're not ready.
Netflix is not ready. I couldn't get it to load on my phone, on my TV. It didn't work. But the good thing about what happened with that fight was after watching that shitty match, I immediately went on YouTube and watched hours of good boxing matches.
Yeah.
I watched Hearns Hagler. I watched Castillo Corrales, 2 of them. I watched all the Katie Taylor fights because she's fun to watch too.
Yeah.
She's a dirty fighter, but in a good way.
We saw that first one. At
Yeah.
MSG.
Yeah. I got a question as a national sports
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and this is Circle of Trust PFT. Feel free to be honest, and we don't have to.
I always am.
Okay. When I rode with you on the under 6.5 rounds, did you know there were 2-minute rounds?
I did.
Okay.
But-
yeah, because when I
okay.
turned on the fight, I was like,
All right.
fuck, they're 2-minute rounds.
That national sports podcast.
National Sports Podcast.
And I'm being completely honest.
yeah.
when I put the bet in, I did not know that there were 2-minute rounds. But
were you going to tell me when you told me to put the bet in?
But then I found out not long after I put the bet in, and I started telling people I love this bet. I found out there were 2-minute rounds, and I was like, I still really like this bet. So I felt just as comfortable with 2-minute rounds.
I wish I had known the 2-minute rounds. I did not, and when I turned it on, I appreciate your honesty.
Wouldn't that have pissed? Doesn't that piss you off? Even though it was whatever, like the great thing to do, he didn't knock him out. It's like people are gonna bet it as officially sanctioned.
Right?
Fight.
Oh yeah,
that's what pisses me off.
No, yeah, of course. But it was so apparent that Mike Tyson shouldn't have been in that ring. Like, I didn't want to see him get knocked out. It was elder abuse. That third round was elder abuse. That was the round where Jake Paul was like, I'm going to start unloading. And Mike Tyson couldn't move. And then for the rest of the fight, he's like, I'm just going to. And I think he obviously, like, there was the whole story that Jake Paul's dad, like, was a Mike Tyson super fan. And I don't know. Let's stop doing it. Mike Tyson's done. He's been done for 20 years. He was washed 20 years ago. This is stupid. Jake Paul, fight someone your own age, please.
He did. He lost.
Yeah, he lost the only guy his own age. That's right.
What's ridiculous about this is that Mike Tyson said afterwards, like, it was an honor for my family in the crowd to be able to watch me fight in a fight like this.
Yeah.
He wanted his family to see him get his ass kicked as a 60-year-old man.
I think he wanted his family to see him be in one last big fight, and also he wanted to see his family cash $20 million.
That's true. The money's pretty good.
That was the part.
And there was a report that the fight was not going to be officially sanctioned at all, but then Jerry Jones wanted to make more money off of it.
Yeah.
So Jerry Jones circumvented the Texas Boxing Commission or whatever, called the governor and just said, hey, can we just certify this fight as a legit fight?
Yeah.
And it was done. It should never have been a legit fight.
No, it was.
That rules.
This whole thing.
Kind of agree with Hank. Like, to have that kind of power, it's like old, this is like Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, they just showed Mike Tyson using a cane to walk 2 years ago. Also, his ass cheeks were very funny. That was worth it alone. That was such a great clip. Also,
and Taylor Serrano was a good
yes,
match, although Serrano gets bang jobbed every time.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Jake Paul. He put a very good female fight. Right, like that elevated it. But yeah, we should stop with that. Jake Paul, fight someone your own age, please. Also, as a national sports podcast, we shout out our guy Rick Pitino because he silenced the crowd at MSG today because he was beating his son, coach of New Mexico, and the crowd started chanting, "Who's your daddy?" Mm-hmm. And he was like, please stop.
Let's keep it classy, guys.
Keep it classy. And as a national sports podcast, I just want to say, I don't know if you guys have seen Marcus Johnson on Bowling Green, but he might be better than DJ Burns. He's a big man who shoots threes, and he's fucking awesome.
He looks so smooth doing it.
So smooth. Did you guys see him?
No, pull it
Dude,
up. Here we go.
He's
a tank.
He's a tank, and he just whaps threes, and he has handle. He put 26, I think, on Michigan State, at Michigan State. It was awesome to watch. So we need to get Bowling Green, Bengals into the playoffs, Bowling Green into the tournament, because he's got it. He's doing everything. He's just a
nice
smooth
turnaround.
Big man, left, right, whatever you need, 3-pointers in the paint. He can do it all. What was his stat line for this game? Because I realized we also just only are watching his makes. Like, that would be really funny if he was 10 for like 28.
That's fine. The misses don't matter.
No,
that one part of the highlight cut away before the ball even got to the basket. Probably a miss.
Yeah, but he's, as a national sports podcast, we need to say Marcus Johnson. He's awesome.
I always love that when they show like either hockey compilations or soccer where something cool happens and then it just stops.
Oh no, he's 9 for 24.
Oh god. Still,
well, the highlight tape was cool. 9 for 24. He's 1 for 11 from 3. He was 1 for 11 from 3. We saw his one made 3.
He's the Spice Adams.
Oh
gift.
my God, that's incredible. Oh, that's so good.
I don't regret. I don't regret
either.
a single thing I said.
No, actually, you know what? Spin it the other way. Just have him stop shooting threes, because if he didn't shoot any threes, he would have been 8 for 13 in the game. He was smooth.
Now let the man shoot.
1 for 11 from 3 is hilarious. And then to have a highlight tape of him hitting 1 3 that was just so wet, and you're like, oh man, he's a lethal 3-point shooter.
National Sports Podcast. Ovechkin's now 29 away from the record.
Oh,
He's unhuman.
That is a big
I think he's got
national
11
source.
goals in the last 10 games.
by the way, he's not a terrible 3-point shooter. He went 5 for 10, 2 for 5, 5 for 6 in his other 3 games. So, National Sports Podcast, maybe he should keep shooting threes.
What was the score of the game?
They only lost by like 6. So
Also wrong.
what? They lost by 14. That was close.
So he had to shoot.
That was close.
He
That
had
was
to
pretty
take threes.
close. Yeah. Where's he been? Where did he play before this? Or has he been on Bowling Green? Can you find that?
They also have losses to Southern Miss and Davidson.
Yeah,
Listen,
so they're not going to make. They're not going to
they're
make
only
the tournament.
winning
He's
so-
awesome.
Taylor.
They're not
I said he
gonna-
should be in the
They're
tournament.
not going to make
Taylor.
the tournament, so it's not going to like.
The Taylor Trojans.
But he still was awesome. That highlight tape was sick. Where has he been playing before? Did he
It
play
sounds like
like
a local
D2
sports,
or
like,
something?
It sounds like a local.
You don't think
sports
this
show
is? You think we're
story,
no
yeah.
longer National Sports
It
Podcast
sounds
because
like
of this?
It sounds like a beat reporter, covering their local
Dude,
team.
Big man balling is National Sports Podcasting news. You know that. Come on.
Got to win.
Taylor's an NAIA team. That's the only win that they have.
The nation wants.
Oh, he was.
The
Yeah, he
nation
was.
wants winners.
He was a Division II player last year. So, Marcus Johnson's a winner.
I don't know
if
if
you
the
just take
nation-
out the win.
I don't know if we want winners. We want big dudes that can move.
doing cool shit.
We want big boy grilling on the roof. That's what the nation wants.
1 for 11 from 3 is so funny. That highlight tape had me like, he was a lottery pick after I watched that highlight tape.
So smooth.
1 for 11.
So smooth.
All right, that was good National Sports Podcasting. Okay.
National Sports Podcast, WNBA draft happened, or the lottery happened today.
Yeah, who ended up winning? I know the Sky got the
forget.
3rd pick.
National Sports Podcast, Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, that's your National Sports Podcast update. Let's do numbers 3.
12.
11. 77.
Oh, memes.
85.
Oh, his mic wasn't on.
99. Pug.
Shane,
73.
that was Jack. Shane,
What?
give us the number and also Chargers.
21. What about him?
Just you know what about them?
Great
Just-
win.
Yeah,
Great win.
not the Chargers anymore.
Not the Chargers.
That was a game they lose 100 times out of 100.
Staley would have lost that by 30.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every coach of yours ever would have
Amen.
lost that. Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
Niner.
Love you guys.